You're live? Question mark? Are we though? Space, can you just confirm that we're live and that everything sounds good? Go live. It's so weird. It's like messing up kind of, but what is this? Okay, no, never mind. That's that. I think the members only live stream like mess things up, so I don't want to like ever do that again. For some reason it's showing
we don't really do that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's showing the time, but like here, I'm just gonna share my screen so you can see the ridiculousness that is whatever this is.
Not there to see it, but
okay, well, I'm midstream. You can see the weirdness that is this, as it's counting up towards 1 hour and 12 seconds. Is that how long the previous stream was? Is that why it's doing that? Oh, I reset it to that. What? It's so weird. That has to be a glitch. It's live! Okay, so back to now live. Yes. So back to rewrites, which is actually a Naruto topics. Oh god, I have to scroll back up to go find where it is again. The thing that I responded to. God, this is so stupid. And now there's even more stuff in the way, so now I still don't even know where it is. Well, I'll at least recognize as soon as I see it the comment or whatever.
Jump back up.
Oh, you know what I could just probably just like Control F feed on. Would probably work. Feed on Kugzu rewrite. Okay. Well, assuming everything's good, which I don't know if it is, because error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Honestly, at this point, Kamui, you should just pull up the phone on your stream, or stream on your phone, and just like double check that we're good. It's like, what the heck is with all these problems? But it looks like we're good. Smooth streaming. Yeah, it just says everything's wrong when it isn't. Very convenient, YouTube. But I think we're good. So, whenever you wanted to talk on that, and or have me start the topic, comment. Well, chat, Sauron! Oh, yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, well, that's good to know, because I noticed something on my wireless mic. It was flashing, and you weren't hearing me clearly. And I'm wondering if that tells me if I'm cutting out. But I'm going to keep my eyes out on that and see. Well, if that's a thing, so that'll just be useful for me to know. If I could see that you're not hearing me based on that, we'll find out. But
well, to be fair, Kamui, if I don't hear you, the problem would be that you're not cutting in the first place.
No, but then if it's flashing and you're clearly not hearing me, then I'm just gonna I'm gonna know beforehand, and I'll be able to. It'll give me a visual cue. It'll be helpful, slightly helpful.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. What I said was unnecessary only for the sake of banter because it was funny.
Okay.
Because cutting out, but cutting in. Anyways, the topic. Okay, so Kamui, Kakuzu and Hidan rewrite. You remember that from a lot of months ago and last night where we talked on the first half of this or whatever?
I do remember that.
Yeah, so imagine it's a horror manga like the Mamushi chapter horror Halloween manga chapter thing that I described. Okay, so we got the reasons for Kakuzu and Hidan to go after Mirai in this case, the unborn child of Asuma inside a Kurenai. So here's how I would do that. Happy Halloween, by the way, for everyone watch. It's like almost October. So if we're doing this, I think it would be cool to have an extended sequence of showing the worst possible thing happening. That being Kurenai, and we would follow this from her perspective, waking up after being captured at night in like a saw trap or something, alone with heat on, who has his blade up to Kurenai's exposed and vulnerable big bursting belly. And maybe he even like gets some of her blood and begins like torturing her, because that's the vibe I want to set up. Like, he could kill her so easily, but he's gonna take his time and he's gonna use the rusty blade and all these other crazy things. Like, it's just so horrific to imagine. It's crazy. So, or he could like take all the bad things he's gonna do to her, to like her first, before revealing, like talk about all the bad things he's gonna do to her before revealing his plans to sell the baby on the black market to the highest bidder, and all the bad things that will happen to the baby and how hopeless it is because nobody will ever find her ever again, or her baby ever again, etc. So before going further, is there any ideas that you have for Hidan to do or say to Kurenai at the beginning of this?
So this would be pretty like evil.
Yeah.
But I think what he should say and do is what he's not going to do is just like kill Kurenai and kill the baby that way. Mm-hmm. What he's going to do is he's going to cut out the baby on board and kill her and it separately. Like,
so basically, literally that one France movie we watched that one time.
Kind of like that, yeah. He's gonna like.
Do you remember what the name of that was?
Without killing her and then kill her.
Yeah, what was the name of that movie? Do you remember?
The one time that movie is useful.
But what was the name of the movie? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe.
I think some cool ideas. So aside from his scythe, which is already really cool for this, I think it'd be also cool if he had, for whatever reason, one of Asuma's blades, and he's going to use that to do this.
Yeah, if he like took them with him or something.
Yeah.
The other thing he could do,
yeah,
that could work, is because obviously he like stabs himself and kills Asuma. If he like, so the only problem there is that it's his blood actually. But what I was gonna say is if he had stabbed Asuma and had blood still there, and he's like, "Hey, this is Asuma's blood," like right on here, and then he's gonna use that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. Here's the next movie that I want us to watch. You're going to get a little sneak peek preview here. So I just realized I'm probably referencing...
Okay, I can't see it, but you'll have to just tell me what the name of the movie is.
Okay, it's The Crazies. If anything, that's better that you can't.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned us watching that.
Yeah, it's the 28 Days Later, done right because of the midpoint change movie follow-up. It's that. So... ignoring
the thing from like 6 months ago.
Yeah, ignoring the context behind that. So the context for this is it's like a horror movie, and there's one of the main characters who we like, and she's, for whatever reason, you just need to know that she's strapped up to a hospital bed alone at night. And then there's this guy who comes in, and Kamui, what's the name of the movie?
Wait, what are we talking about?
The Crazies.
Oh, okay.
And he's crazy, and he's dragging along this. Is that what you're going for? Yeah. So this guy, he's a psychopath. He's dragging along this 3-pronged bladed weapon. It's a pitchfork along the ground as he walks up to the girl who's strapped down and can't free herself from the hospital bed. And there is, to be fair. Yeah, so it's like exactly what this is.
Like drag his scythe in like a cool way.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I'm thinking of here, yeah.
And he could do like a thing where he's like dragging across the floor and it's like scraping noises or whatever.
Exactly, bro. You got the exact idea that I'm thinking of. To be fair, a difference with this scene...
easy with Don.
Yeah, I know. A difference with this scene is the fact that the character here, the crazy guy, doesn't know the main character who's strapped to the bed. It's just some random stranger to him. So that's one difference. Another difference is the fact that she's not the only one in here strapped to a bed. So there's like other girls who's also are just in here strapped to a bed. And he kills them first. And then a third difference is the fact that he doesn't know she's there, and she's like staying quiet so to like stay hidden or covered or whatever, so that he doesn't like alert that guy to his attention or whatever, so she could like live. And ignoring.
You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to make it closer to that, what you could do is have Hidan basically not know what Kurenai looks like. There's just no information for him to find on this. So what he does is he goes after every pregnant person in the hospital. So in this case, we'll just have Kurenai be like very almost due. So she's in the hospital or whatever. And what Hidan does is he traps, quote unquote, every woman in the hospital, pregnant woman anyway, except for Kurenai, who happened to be like in the bathroom or whatever. And so she's like hiding or whatever. And then Hidan's eventually gonna find her, kind of like this scene you're describing. You could do something like that.
And I won't show what he does here, but you can imagine it's in the movie.
It's pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy indeed. Yeah, so he does
That's
that.
what I'm imagining.
Yeah. It's just a cool idea for like the vibe I was thinking here. And yeah. So obviously someone comes to, well, I don't want to spoil how this scene goes, but comparing it to the Shikamaru scene, Shikamaru would come to like save Kurenai before she gets stabbed to death. There's at least that. But I think something that would be cool, again, if Hidan does get her blood and does start the transformation circle and does transform into the weird puppet form and is about to stab himself. Exactly, yeah. Like forces him out of the circle. Something that he couldn't do for Asuma.
Yeah. Well, he technically did earlier in the fight, but not sent that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's just a cool idea with the pitchfork. Like, the pitchfork was like the selling point of the movie as he's like dragging it across the ground. Like, with the blood like and following on it.
Works really well for that too.
It's cool, yeah. I mean, so you could have other girls there first, and he kills the other girls and leaves Kurenai for last, and then obviously Shikamaru would still come into the nick of time. Either way you want to do it, I think it's pretty terrifying regardless.
Well, because what I was gonna say, it depends on whether you want him to know who Kurenai is and hunt her down first, or
I think it's more terrifying if he does, if she's alone.
So he goes after everyone, and then she is the last pregnant woman that he finds, so he captures her. And then she's the only one left, so he knows it has to be her at that point, because he's already eliminated all the others.
Yeah. So the question, so you were saying the hospital scene.
Also, real quick to add on to it, it also shows how crazy far he's willing to go for this, because he's not gonna take to figure out who Kurenai is.
Are you there? You cut out a little bit? Kamui?
Huh?
What were you saying? You cut out?
So what I was saying was, in this case, it shows how crazy far he's willing to go, because rather than just taking the time to figure out who Kurenai is, what he's going to do instead is just kill every pregnant woman in the village so that it doesn't matter. Because one, he just loves killing, and two, it doesn't matter who she is, because he will have killed her eventually.
Oh, this is so brutal. That cannot be in the actual episode if we're doing this version of the rewrite tour. He just goes to the pregnancy ward and kills everyone but Kurenai. We can't have Hidan stabbing pregnant mothers through their bellies.
Okay. To be fair, it doesn't have to be on screen. It can be like the
Right.
So if you remember when Sasuke's looking for Jugo, there's a scene of, it's actually not Jugo. Well, Jugo does have a separate massacre, but before then, there's a scene of this Jugo lookalike dude who just kills, brutally murders. Everyone's like beheaded and shit. They're just on the ground. You don't see him actively kill all of them, but like you just see the massacres end result. And it can be similar, or like Orochimaru's hanging bodies in his experiment room. It can be like that to where we just see, like, you see Hidan walk in with he's scraping his scythe as he walks into the ward, and then like people are like scared or whatever when they see him, and he like smiles evilly, and then it cuts away, and then you get the aftermath. Basically, the revelation of what happened can be Kurenai's point of view, to where she's walking back from the bathroom wherever she was, and then she sees the massacre, so then she goes to hide, and then like that's how we get the revelation. Okay, he just slaughtered them all, and then obviously
Yeah.
when she leaves, Hidan notices that he like senses it because he's like a ninja and can like perceive things in general. Doesn't be a sensory ninja. He just perceives, hey, footsteps ran away or whatever, and then he can be like, Smart can be like, looks like there's one more, and then he goes to look for her.
Yeah, like maybe she goes to like hide in a closet or something, and like Hidan like goes by the door. He stops and hesitates and puts his hand on the doorknob, and it must have just been the wind, and he keeps going. And then Kurenai turns on the light, and then Kakuzu's in the closet with her.
Well, so okay, that's funny. Okay, that's a good segue to my question, which was gonna be, what do we want Kakuzu's role during this whole thing to be? Like, what exactly will he be doing? Will he also be hunting? Will he be like fighting someone? Like, what is he doing at the time that Hidan is walking around the pregnancy ward? Because it sounds like he's either just letting Hidan handle that while he's handling something else, or he's also looking. He just happens to be looking somewhere else at first, but then shows up kind of like, this wouldn't be identical, but you know how like when they first fight Hidan and Kakuzu, they stab Hidan, it doesn't work, and then Kakuzu just shows up later out of nowhere behind them. You could do a similar thing to where like Kurenai thinks she's escaped and then Kakuzu's behind her, or you could do a thing to where Kurenai thinks she escaped because Shikamaru saved her, but then Kakuzu shows up. I don't know what exactly went to Kakuzu.
Yeah.
And obviously, I want him to be talking about the bounty in front of her, and that's going to make him really mad.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different routes you could go. You could technically have this just be a Hidan and Kurenai exclusive scene, and he just isn't there at all, which would work for like Shikamaru and like the like whole narrative thing they're doing there.
What you want to do with Kakuzu in this case.
Yeah, but that is the laziest option, so I would just want to explore all options with Kakuzu. So first of all, this doesn't have to be the pregnancy ward. This could be her house, and then that could be also a little bit more terrifying in a way. It is also terrifying the fact that they were able to invade the village at night, the place that should be the safest place in the entire world, and the safest village, and the safest place of the village, the pregnancy ward, and they're invading there? That's crazy. So I do like that as well. One thing that I think would be really cool is...
Yeah, we do need to address how they're getting there.
Yeah.
We could just say Itachi gave them the code. The only problem is, okay, why didn't he give Pain the code? Unless you want to just rewrite it to where Pain does have the code when he invades too, but...
Well, something that I was thinking is that maybe Kakuzu could be there because he knows that Tsunade's there, and he has like a grudge against the first Hokage, so he's going after her granddaughter, and the same way that Hidan's going after Asuma's granddaughter, basically. Whatever.
He's gonna find another Kage or whatever.
Yeah, but like I don't know if you could like rewrite the timeline somehow, some way, but maybe Tsunade just goes in her pain arc coma early, or the pain arc comes before this arc. I don't know.
Probably not that, but why do you want her to be in a coma so that they don't fight?
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, is that it'd just be like easy pickings, and maybe like Shizune has to protect her or something. But like, I mean, you could just have them fight as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's a tough one because I feel like if he's gonna go after Tsunade, he needs to fight Tsunade. So
that's fair.
I don't want him to just be in a coma. Like he's gotta fight her if he's going for her. Otherwise, he's gotta be going for his bounties or something.
I mean, maybe it's when Tsunade wakes up from the coma.
I mean, another thing you could do is
imagine
Kakuzu's just going after a different bounty while he entrusts Hidan to the pregnant one because that works for Hidan's goal anyway. So while Kakuzu's going after something else, the question is, what is that something else? The easiest option is Kagashi. The alternative option is he's going after Naruto. The Jinchuriki,
the one also... they were supposed to capture.
Which is also weird. I don't, they weren't really supposed to capture him. They just go after him randomly. Like, they all knew that was Itachi's target. I don't know why. They just went after him just because they couldn't find anyone else. Like, I was just going to leave it.
But
later,
Kakuzu...
Chisame and Itachi are talking why they should realistically capture the Nine-Tails last. So that just goes to show Hidan and Kakuzu were just grasping at straws to find their second targets.
Yeah. But if Kakuzu is there in this Hidan Kurenai scene, I think it'd be really cool because, okay, in the movie, the hospital ward, the people are like being like restricted, bound to the tables because they're like belted there. It's like just restraints. What's Kakuzu's like thing? He's like the perfect person to do that with this weird like tattoo stitches or whatever. Just hold her to the table, cover her mouth.
That is true.
It's like perfect.
This would be definitely more goofy, but you could have Hidon's rope doing it. This infinite rope thing.
Okay, that's stupid, but I like it. Well, something that you could do, this I think you'll actually really like. Hidon's gonna do to Kurenai what he did to Yugito. So she is gonna be like hung up by her hands with nails, on, like for crucifixion or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, he can just do that to all of them. That's just like his ritual thing.
Okay, I like that.
That could just be how he kills most of his people, Asuma being an exception.
Yeah, I'm down for that. By the way, John, I see that you're in the audience now. John the Maven, if you would like to be guest tonight, we'll only be live for like an hour or less than that now. But hey, if you wanted to, feel free. But we are doing a rewrite right now.
I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty heat.
I know.
Because as it is, I obviously love what they do with Shikamaru Hidon in the second half of the arc. But the second half of the arc is the weak point for me. Well, I'll say the last third. Because it's definitely more rushed. And Shikamaru specifically is good all the way throughout. The rest of it, like Kakuzu versus Kakashi is cool, but that's it. Like, slight a bit of narrative in here and there, but it's like, this is just cool.
Well,
the only thing it technically would remove is the Shikamaru going after revenge aspect. Because in this case, Hidon's kind of coming to him. But then you're replacing it with Shikamaru protecting the king, which you could argue is better because that's the point. And also
I think
that
it's
way
better,
Shikamaru is not just doing the exact opposite of what Naruto's going to learn in the pain arc.
And plus, regardless if they misunderstand the specific nuance or not, it is funny that everyone hates the fact that Kakashi tells Sasuke, no, revenge! But he tells Shikamaru, revenge!
I know.
Because, I mean, yes, there is that specific explanation, but I'll be honest, even when I go back to rewatch that scene, I'm like, people have a point. Like, it's the most obvious surface level, obvious thing of all time, and you have to really dig deep down every single time. It just slaps you in the face with it if you don't.
Exactly. So it is funny.
Yeah.
But in this, so you could argue it just is better to just have it not be revenge and it's just protecting the king. You know, it's probably thematically more consistent anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
And Shikamaru can still set up his trap and bring him to the Naruto clan forest, which should realistically be outside the Lee village anyway.
Yeah. I do have a little bit more written down here.
He can even be planning on doing his revenge, but then Hidon shows up first, which surprises Shikamaru, so he's got to adapt to the situation.
Exactly. A couple other things I have written down here for this rewrite is, so this especially works.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Just to add on to that, because Kakuzu's supposed to be the smart guy of their group, you could set him up as a strategist too, in the sense that this was Kakuzu's strategy to throw them off, because they wouldn't expect it or whatever. You can make it a thing like that. Because kind of like how with Shikamaru's original plan, Kakuzu's the one that he didn't really account for being able to get out of Shadow Possession the way he does, and so on. So you can just have Kakuzu be that guy. Even though Shikamaru's not going to fight him, he's like the strategist of the group. Kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Oh, cool. There's a thing there. So there's also another thing that I didn't write down that I'm referencing. I did remember this the other day, the fact that I probably am just subconsciously referencing this. So in Be the Beginning, Season 1, at the finale of it, one of the characters is captured. I have to find it, because I don't know exactly where it is. Also, spoilers for Be the Beginning, Season 1's ending. I will share this tab instead, even though I don't think you're watching anyways. I don't know where this is. You know, maybe if I, like, look up... Oh, this is such a good anime, by the way. Here, let me just look it up and see if I can find it that way. It's the main character. It's a girl who joined the task force team or whatever. She's the new recruit. be the beginning kidnap scene? Let's see if this is here. Well, there's a chase scene in episode 3, but that's not what I'm looking for. There's a strangle scene. I don't think that's what I'm referencing either. But you could also reference something like Death Note with Misa being like captured or whatever. Just like the visuals there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Yukito idea though. I think they're the same way.
Yeah, that's true. So I don't know where this is, which is annoying. But
I also think
okay.
before he like cuts the baby out, he absolutely should do a thing where he like drags the scythe across her belly and leaves the scar like a smiley face. Or if not that, then he draws the Joshin symbol on her belly.
Okay, that's kind of funny too. I like that.
Either way works.
Yeah, the weird like triangle Joshin ritual.
If you want to do the Joshin symbol, that can be part of the ritual. In order to kill the baby, he has to draw the symbol on the stomach or whatever.
Yeah, so it's not just him stalling, taking his sweet time. He is just doing the ritual, which takes time.
Yeah, exactly. But he's taking his time while he does it.
Yeah, like laughing and smirking and all that.
So that way it's not like just plot convenience, him taking his time because of his character. It's both. He's doing his thing and enjoying it, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I do like that it feels. Oh, weird. Okay, actually, I think did I just find it here? Yeah. Okay, weird. I found it. So it's actually at the end of episode 9, not the season 1 finale, like I thought. So I'm assuming these visuals are okay, but I'm just gonna do it like this anyways. So you have like the main character on the table here and the doctor, and I think if I remember correctly, the doctor like gave her like some paralysis drug because like they thought he was a good guy and he is the bad guy they've been searching for all along. And no, he's got his next victim, the main character girl, and he's doing his thing. Oh, look, he's rubbing his thumb on her back, and oh wow, this bad guy. Oh, I hate him. He's so bad. Yeah, she's just like sitting at the table, just watching and like can't do anything movement wise, but she can think. It's like more terrifying that way. Yeah, it's definitely crazy. But yeah, so there's something like that would be crazy. Getting away from that, going back to this. So I like what you said about Kakuzu.
This whole idea is just straight easy.
I know. I was so excited when I wrote this down. That's why this is why I've remembered this for 6 months. I've been excited to do this rewrite for 6 months.
It's just like, it makes Hidan the 10 out of 10 villain and antagonist. It's a 20 out of 10. It makes the best antagonist in the show, practically. Yeah. And then we haven't fully fleshed out Kakuzu here, but so far I still think it's only elevated him despite basically doing nothing so far.
Yeah. So I do like what you said about this being like Kakuzu's plan, or he's like this strategic mastermind or whatever, especially to like go against like Shikamaru in a way. But I like that because it makes the Akatsuki feel all the more terrifying because it's like they have the leg up. The fact that they were even able to make a crazy 1 in a million circumstance like this almost effortlessly from a certain perspective. It's like, wow, they have the leg up. The main characters are the ones being reactive rather than proactive. It's like, if the Akatsuki can do this, they can get away with anything. No wonder they're the threat to the heart of the shinobi world. It's like, it just makes sense. But likewise, what I wrote down... Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, what I was going to also add is, if you want to do something with like Kakuzu's intelligence versus Naruto's intelligence, to where Kakuzu's this super smart guy with all this experience, Naruto's going to be... We're going to make Naruto's strategy a little bit better, but the idea would be... It's the unpredictability of Naruto's plan. Naruto's actual plan, it ain't unpredictable whatsoever. It's the most obvious thing of all time. But in this case, he's going to fart on Kakuzu or whatever unpredictable thing. Reverse sex jutsu, you get the idea. Kakuzu's going to... It's going to be the one thing he's never seen before in all his experience.
I like that. In that case, I want Kakuzu to have lines that are similar to Shikamaru, of lines that are like, oh, well, I've actually devised already 182 different possible countermeasures.
Exactly,
it's the one you can never foresee.
This almost just makes Kakuzu the best shinobi history person. Screw Black Zetsu. Kakuzu's the final villain.
I mean, his stupid carbon morph diamond armor thing already makes him look like Black Zetsu's.
Well, yeah, that too. And also, like, it kind of works. Like, imagine, like, the first shinobi has just stayed alive all this time, stealing people's hearts. Yeah. Like, it actually kind of works in the immortal duos. Like, they are. He just is Black Zetsu. I mean, just make this the last arc.
Also, let's just low-key remember that Black Zetsu's weird, like, stretchy tentacle-liness is also just like Kakuzu's. In a way, like, it just works for Black Zetsu.
Yeah. Kakuzu's abilities are pretty weird.
Kakuzu's body is already weird.
He's also like a puppet at the same time. Like, Kakuzu is everyone.
He's the jack of all trades.
Yeah, he just should be the final. The immortal duo. Why not? Other than obvious reasons, why not?
I love it. Yeah, I mean,
they actually kind of work, and in many ways they don't work, but in many ways they do work. Remember that whole Sasuke's the final villain thing? Like, we can do the Kakuzu one for right now.
Yeah, like, this honestly isn't that hard. Like we were saying, they're the immortal duo. Yeah, Shikamaru's gonna take care of Hidan. Kakuzu's gonna be, like, basically the Toby turning Madara character here, and he's going to, afterwards, not having died, maybe people thought he died, but he didn't, and he frees Hidan.
Yeah.
Just bring him back.
Like, and when he fought the first Hokage, a rewrite, he killed the first Hokage.
Yeah. I mean, you could technically also...
strong.
You could also have it to be where he, like, augments Hidan's body to where Hidan, when he comes back, he is stronger. Maybe he gives Hidan to Pain. Maybe he becomes a Pain puppet. Actually, that'd be kind of cool if, like, 6 of the Paths of Pain, they're just previous Akatsuki members. It kind of ruins what they're doing with the war, like bringing them back with Edo Tensei.
It ruins the Jiraiya thing, but it would be cool.
Yeah. Like, something else you could do is...
It would be, at the very least, cooler than the... debatably cooler than the Edo Jinchuriki.
Yeah. It would also...
yeah.
You could also just have it be like a Deepa Jigen situation to where, yeah, you thought I was going to free you, but actually I'm going to turn you into one of my hearts, Hidan. Ha-ha!
Yeah.
Could do that.
Although, screw that scene. Deepa should have been, like, he should have just not died. Should still be in Kara. We'll do that rewrite maybe later tonight, but at some point, we'll do that. But, what I mean, something you could do, though, is similar. This isn't really that similar, but similar to how, like, some of the Edo Tensei were nerfed. Kakuzu's just going to be nerfed. What's the explanation? It's going to be the quality of his heart. The quality of his heart largely affects his power. So his recent heart, he can even have a line. You want to do more shinobi history shit? His peak power is during the warring states when he's fighting Hashirama and Madara. Everyone's stronger. And he can have a line like, the shinobi nowadays are soft. My heart, they're weak compared to the past, but I'm still more than enough to beat you weaklings or whatever. And he's so proud of his experience or whatever. But, like, basically, he's weaker when he fights Naruto and everyone because of his weaker heart. However, when he loses and escapes, however, we're going to write that. We'll come back to it. He goes out because he loses. He's not going to change his ways entirely, obviously. He's going to be the final villain here. So he's going to go out of his way to target stronger hearts, like the strongest hearts he can. Now, we'll have to think about who he's going to target, but they need to be strong people. He's going to kill them. And then that way, when he comes back, he'll be a lot stronger. And we can do more amps later, of course. Or we can also just not have Naruto with Sasuke be like Hogwarts amps and all that. Whatever you want to do.
I mean, if you remember, we talked about what if Kabuto or X character saved Zabuza, not Haku, but Zabuza, after the Land of Waves.
Yeah.
This could just be another instance, especially if Kakuzu just is going to be Black Zetsu in this case. whether he just saves his life or he just becomes Zabuza becomes one of Kakuzu's hearts, maybe in that case along with Haku, because might as well at that point. That could be one of the reasons that Naruto uses his Nine-Tails eye power against Kakuzu when Kakuzu pulls out the Zabuza and Haku hearts.
Yeah, he really. So yeah, like we'll have to have him get stronger hearts later so he can upscale, but he can reveal like Naruto. Oh, okay. So this is ridiculous, random, but it would be really funny if like, so let's just say Choji Neji News died in the Sasuke retrieval arc. So he's gonna single out all of his hearts. He's like, Naruto, do you know who my hearts are? It's like, who? Fuck, Zabuza, Choji. Just rattling off, pick a fifth person. I don't know, Asuma. Like, he just starts rattling off all the hearts she stole.
I like the idea that he goes after specifically people with weak hearts or whatever, or soft hearts, like we were saying, like strong warriors, strong bodies, but weak hearts. So it's easy to take theirs or something. That's something that you could do there.
Cool idea, yeah.
Especially since Naruto's the one who made their hearts wane.
After, like, Hoshino Kakuzu arc.
Yeah.
I mean, what's something you could do?
He could go
this doesn't really work considering Konan takes the body, but if she didn't take Nagato's body, it'd be cool to be like took Nagato's heart.
Yeah, he could just take.
He takes Itachi's. Like,
he could take Itachi's
members right before they die.
Definitely, if he's Black Zetsu, he easily can take Itachi's.
Hardcore thing.
Yeah, I think he would also have Yahiko, Nagato, and Konan's heart going in the war arc.
Yeah, he could do that.
I think that works fine.
And obviously in this case, I guess Kakuzu's just like Obito's aware of who Kakuzu is and how he's relevant to everything. It's gonna be more important.
Oh my god, I know a cool one, and this actually just straight up works. Going into the war arc, we're gonna have Kakuzu. Actually, no, this is the time. Okay, whenever Kakuzu does fight Tsunade, it can be in the Hidan Kakuzu arc. That's fine. One of the hearts he's gonna have is Dawn's. That actually just works so well.
Oh, okay, I gotta rewrite. Okay, so this doesn't really work the best timeline-wise, but I don't care. We'll figure it out. So, the one who killed...
The one who killed who?
Just back in the day. He's just the one who did it.
Who killed who? You're cutting out?
Kakuzu kills Dawn.
Kills Dawn, okay. Okay. That can work, yeah.
We'll figure out timeline.
Okay, if we're doing that, then I agree. I agree. Kakuzu needs to also kill Hashirama if we're having him kill Dawn.
Okay, this is also stupid, considering Nawaki gets blown up, but he also...
I mean, I'm down.
These people.
I mean, that works. Unironically. If he's the Black Zetsu, he might as well.
Speaking of killing Hashirama, that can be the one heart that survives when he gets away, which helps explain why he stays strong. Like, he has the strongest heart possible.
Okay. Yeah. That works.
This doesn't make sense. What if he steals Madara's heart?
I mean, that would make sense. Instead of, like, backstabbing him, he does the heart steal jutsu on Madara. Just
my god, no. Yeah, no, okay. That's not what I was saying, but that's even funnier. Yeah, Ted tells Madara, Kakuzu just does the heart steal right now.
I mean, if he's Black Zetsu, okay, I see what you're saying now. But yeah, no, if he is Black Zetsu, I think that just works way better than Black Zetsu somehow just stabbing him without Chidori through the chest. Like, what?
Yeah, Kakuzu just steals his heart.
I mean, it's what he tries to do that one Naruto Shadow Clone. It looks like it would just work instantly, so... I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it works pretty quick.
So. Might as well.
That's so funny. Oh man, we could come up with endless ways. Okay, so let's actually figure out. Okay, so we're half memeing with this. So, how exactly do we want to approach Kakuzu? Like, because we basically put Kakuzu in like 5 different positions, but like for this rewrite. Do we want to have Madara and Obito still be exactly as they are, but like Kakuzu just kind of is Black Zetsu in a way? Or are we gonna like modify Madara and Obito in ways to where, like, for example, is Madara just not gonna be a 10-tail Shinchuriki? He's gonna be modified, however, and Kakuzu's just gonna take that role. Are we just gonna not have a 10-tail Shinchuriki because Kakuzu's gonna upgrade himself in a different way that's important to Kakuzu's goal? Because like, is Kakuzu doing Infinite Tsukuyomi? Like, what exactly are we gonna go for with this? And by the way, for the
fine
audience,
with just having Kakuzu be in the Black Zetsu realm to work.
Okay, for the most part, basically just be Black
Yeah,
Zetsu,
so keep you to 10 Delchin Jerky and all that the same. I think that's fine.
Okay, so Madara and they're all the same. Okay.
Yeah. Something I think you could do.
Gonna exist in a different way from how he does, or is Black Zetsu just not going to be a character?
I don't think Black Zetsu would need to exist in this case if you just give everything to Kakuzu. The only thing we lose is the cool Venus flytrap half black, half white Zetsu form. We don't get that much anyways.
Well, that not necessarily, depending on what we want white Zetsu to be. Because, first of all, what is Kakuzu's goal? Does he want Infinite Tsukuyomi? Does he care? Is he just trying to, like, what is he trying to do? Is he replacing Kage? Does Kage still exist? Like, what are we doing with Kage?
Yeah, I would have like, Kage besides the immortal duo
aspect. And why that's cool, but
I would have Kaguya still exist. Whatever he does to Madara turns Madara into Kaguya. Whether you want... Okay, this is so stupid, but we already have a Black Zetsu being the third brother to Haguro Mohamura. Would we just have it be Kakuzu in this game?
Did we even finish going over that? I might have had an extra thing about that.
I don't know.
Is Kakuzu just the third brother?
Yeah, the secret third brother. He could just be that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, instead of being 90 years old, he just is 1,000 years
old. Yeah. Or you could just have Kaguya be not 1,000 years old. It just happened 100 years ago or whatever. Also fine too.
Yeah. Didn't really matter too much there, I guess. But
yeah, Warring States era was like one generation. That's fine.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say,
true. It really doesn't need to be at that. It could just be 200 years, like 100 years before modern.
Yeah, exactly. You could also,
especially considering, honestly, Ashura and Indra could just be the previous generation. Because we just skip all the way to Ashura anyway. So.
Yeah, literally.
And then Naruto and Sasuke are the next ones.
Yeah, so there's just like 3 generations of them. That's it. There's no secret 20 billion generations in between that we don't see off screen.
Yeah, it just never gets that far. I mean, the one thing you lose, there's the cycle of hatred doesn't feel as cycly if it's... It only recycled once.
It's fine, it's fine.
It ended it pretty quickly, but...
Yeah. But I think something you could do is... In this case, Kakuzu would want Orochimaru's heart, and this could be the reason that he would trade, in this case with Kabuto. So Kabuto gets Madara's corpse in trade, I guess, for Orochimaru's heart, or Orochimaru's corpse that Kabuto would have. So Kakuzu has Madara's corpse, Kabuto has Orochimaru's, and they just swap. Because they both get something out of it. Because that makes a lot more sense than Zetsu just randomly giving Kabuto, like, ooh, a piece of candy. He just shows him Madara's corpse without him knowing. Somehow.
Because actually, speaking of that, so I had a funny rewrite. In this case, you could just have Orochimaru, okay, messes up him not knowing what the Reaper does, but he could just know he can't summon Minato for whatever reason. And so that third coffin, it's not Minato, it is Madara. Orochimaru just found him from the get-go, but he couldn't summon him because of whatever Hiruzen does. He does the hand signs to stop it or whatever.
I mean, when you go back and rewatch that, especially in the anime, they're making it clear it's Hiruzen who stopped it.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous, but yeah.
Like, he does some hand sign to stop it. In this case, it would just be the hands. It'd be like what Madara does to the Edo Tensei, but Hiruzen just was too late for the first two, basically. Something else that could be cool. Instead of Hiruzen stopping it, instead of Reaper Death still shenanigans, he tries to summon it, but even the mere summoning of it is too powerful for Orochimaru, so the summoning fails. Just like how Naruto tries to summon Gamabunta tons of times, but he only summons like Gamakichi or whoever. Yeah, the only issue there, though, is that the same would apply to Hashirama. And you say, oh, but Hashirama Nerd. Okay, Madara would just be equally as Nerd, so that's the only issue.
Well, I mean, you might not be okay with it, but I still see no problem with Madara being stronger.
Yeah, but then he can't be losing that. That's the issue. It would work if he was beating Hashirama consistently.
I mean, look. We don't have to go over this right now. Hashirama uses a clone to kill Madara, or well, a clone to trick Madara. Madara would have known that.
Well,
right?
Actually, I don't think his Sharingan was activated at the time, so you could just argue it's only a Sharingan that can tell.
We don't know if it's a Sharingan or not. That's part of the problem.
Yeah, they don't really explain, but if it is because of the Sharingan, then I guess he wouldn't know.
Yeah. I mean, another possible explanation for if he didn't know would be that regardless of Sharingan, he's just so exhausted, tired that he just can't bother focusing. Yeah, that could work.
And he just was convinced he had won, like, so there's plenty of reasons why it wouldn't be overly unreasonable for him to fall for it. But it does depend. It does kind of depend on how he tells. Like, if it's just obvious to him, it's just a pink clone to him with this regular face on. Like, how do you fall for that? So it depends on exactly how he's telling. I
don't know. He's probably somehow looking at his cellular structure or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just something. I don't know what it is. She didn't want to tell us.
Cool. Actually, okay, this is the stupidest way for him to tell. The funniest thing to do, yes, he is looking at a cellular structure because wood has the square cells, whereas animals have the circle cells.
God. Okay, so that's similar to what I was gonna say, but that's a better version of what I was gonna say. I actually like that. That's actually the coolest explanation. The only problem is, okay, then that should apply to other Sharingan users, but they can just not be smart enough.
Well, the problem there is it should apply to other Sharingan users, but it would only apply to wood clones. Like, I don't think water... I don't know. I mean, water doesn't have cells, it has atoms, but I think those are still, like, rounds.
They just be able to see... Yeah, well, she can see viruses.
Yeah.
So... I think she might be able to see the level.
I don't know. It's close enough.
Not to mention, C4 is unfair because Sasuke just sees a cloud of blue chakra regardless. But they might be able to see the water H2O molecules. I don't know. There's no excuse for the Byakugan not being able to know.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Here, just another one. Getting back to Kakuzu, though. If Mizuki just isn't going to come back anyways, just have him be one of Kakuzu's hearts. There you go.
Oh, okay, that's funny. What I thought you were going to say is Mizuki just is Kakuzu. Because remember that, right? He just is the final villain.
Who's Kaguya's third child?
That is kind of cool, though. Mizuki, the first and last villain.
Yeah, he's got the white hair. He might as well be Otsutsuki.
Like, we've already done the rewrite of Mizuki is Kakuzu. Why not? Gets the heart-stealing jutsu. I mean, in this case, it depends on whether we want to do the Shinobi history thing to where Mizuki's old, or if he's just gonna get the heart jutsu from the Hidden Leaf scroll. But
well, in this case, I don't know. Shinobi history works, but you could just have it be Shinobi history in reference to Naruto's Shinobi history, aka Naruto's journey.
Exactly.
It just kind of works as good, probably. But
and you can also just have other themes be big ones too. Like, it doesn't have to be Shinobi history. Although Shinobi history works well for the theme of what it needs to be Shinobi. But there's countless ways of approaching that theme, aka they do it in every arc. So
I mean, especially if they did that, they would be doing my favoriteest thing ever. That I love referencing every other stream: Alpha and Omega.
yeah. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Walking Dead. But anyways, okay. Getting back on track.
Okay,
Space,
do you have more?
Yes, I do have more. So Space had a line for the Kakuzu Hidan Kurenai rewrite thing here. So he can imagine Hidan saying something along the lines of, "All of those women and babies, all worthy sacrifices to Lord Jashin. You are the last one to be sacrificed."
Yeah, something along those lines. She done so. Just talk about Jashin, sacrifices, loving pain, loving what he's doing. It's very easy to write Hidan dialogue. And it's so obvious what you're going for, so it doesn't even matter what you specifically write. It's just gotta work.
Yeah. John the Maven says Kiba would use Kakuzu's hearts as toys for Akamaru. He's also enjoying listening and talking.
The final villain.
Yeah, about Kakuzu out of pocket, not to derail, but if you need me to pop off about something in particular, let me know. Oh wait, are we slandering Kakuzu's battle IQ? Because I'm here for that.
Okay, another thing. Well, you kind of were, but with the rewrite or not. This one's kind of dumb but it's also really cool, especially with this Black Zetsu idea. Because who watches the end of the Sakura Retrieval arc? Zetsu.
Yeah.
If Kakuzu's basically just being that for the most part, what I was gonna say is Kakuzu's 5 hearts in the well, you can also do a 4 and then Hashirama's the 5th heart. But the other hearts can be the sound 4. Like, he just takes them. They're cool. They can give them cool abilities. I know it's kind of stealing what Kabuto does, but whatever. But like, that's just kind of cool. I don't know. It's just cool.
Okay. I know that you don't like this anyways. Okay, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So, Zetsu watching the Naruto versus Sasuke fight means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Yes, Indra, Ashura fight, shenanigans, blah, blah, blah. Zetsu, the recorder of all shinobi history, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't serve any purpose. He doesn't need to do that. It's just cool to see the Akatsuki at the end. If it's going to be Kakuzu in this case, and this is a part that you're not going to like, nothing's going to change at part 1. It's just going to be one of Zetsu's, or Madara's, or really Zetsu's, one of the many reveals at the end of the war arc, probably when Kaguya's around, is that at the end of that fight, Naruto's heart stopped beating, and Kakuzu restarted it because Indra Ashura shenanigans and he needed Naruto alive, and that's why Naruto did it not.
I mean,
it would be a cool reveal. It would be a cool reveal. It happens off screen in part 1, but it's cool for this.
I don't dislike it.
It also makes that scene actually completely relevant. All the way back then.
It does. Another cool character to do that with, which has nothing to do with Indra Ashura, but just Kabuto doing it is kind of cool for a lot of ways.
I agree. I mean, the alternative could be you could have Kakuzu want to go down there and steal Naruto's heart after Sasuke walks away, but he can't because Kakashi shows up. But that doesn't really make sense with the rest of this Kakuzu's Black Zetsu rewrite or anything like that.
Yeah, because he would just be stronger.
Exactly. Yeah, he would steal Kakashi's heart first.
Well, yeah. What you could do is, but real quick, Naruto doesn't technically have to die. He could just be about to die, and then Kabuto, whoever saves him before then, that's also an option. So you could also have a thing to where, if it's Kakuzu, he specifically doesn't want Naruto to die, and he doesn't take his heart yet because he wants Naruto's heart to make him stronger because he sees his potential. Because he knows he's like a Hashirama reincarnation. He already has a Hashirama heart. It's like, oh, I can have like another one of those. So he leaves him alive for that reason too.
Well, one thing you could do is maybe Naruto's heart did stop beating, but Kakuzu immediately starts from Naruto's back. He does the weird underground thing that Zetsu does. Like, for example,
kind of like what Tsunade does, to where Naruto's heart does kind of stop beating, but he never dies.
Yeah, so Kakuzu goes travels underground secretly so Sasuke can't see it, and goes up through Naruto's back and just keeps Naruto's heart beating. So that when the rain starts and Sasuke falls on him and falls on his chest, he can hear the heartbeat, and that's when he walks away.
It's actually Kakuzu. It's like what Sakura does.
Exactly. Yeah, just squeezing his heart with the weird tentacle thing.
It's kind of cool.
Ridiculous, but I think it low-key kind of works.
And then the knife just heals the hole.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Stupid, I love it. Maybe they could even reference it somehow in part 1. It's some weird, mysterious thing. Oh, Naruto, you had this weird string on you, and actually we took that off and we used it to heal Neji instead of using his hair or something. I don't know. Maybe they got the inspiration for healing Neji with his hair from whatever happened with Naruto that they don't know because it's some mysterious thing that they never call back to until the war when Zetsu reveals what happens. It's a small thing.
They could do that, yeah. There's so many. It's all easily we come up with these ideas.
I know, off the top of our head too. Branching off from something else.
All the ways Kakuzu could be the final villain. Part of me wants to keep doing that. Part of me also says we still need to address what Kakuzu doing in this.
Well, before that, Before that, some more comments from John the Maven. So I think that Kakuzu would just go after whatever heart best complemented his elemental arsenal. I'm not clear if he'd gain stuff like Kekkei Genkai or whatnot, though. Well, if he's Black Zetsu, he might as well do that, because it'd be cool. It'd also be similar to what Kabuto does, so I think he might as well.
Yeah, because you just rewrite it to where that is the case.
Yeah.
But you could also do Kakuzu Kabuto parallels, especially if they're doing that trade-off idea.
Well, actually, maybe that's how he reveals that he has Haku's heart. It doesn't look like Haku, but he has Ice Release. Okay, that could work.
They could ask, like, you, where did you get that jutsu?
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
could be like, oh, it's from one of the many shinobi I've stolen it.
Yeah, like maybe Kakuzu doesn't even say it. Neither Kakuzu or Naruto say Haku's name, but Naruto has a flashback to something Haku said, something along the lines of, oh, I'm the last Ice Release user, or something. It's like, after me, it's all gone.
Yeah, so the only question is...
Naruto would just know.
So in this case, because obviously Haku dies when Kakashi kills him, and then he's dead for at least like 20 minutes. How long does Kakuzu have to steal these hearts?
I don't know. I mean, if we're doing the War Arc thing to where he wants Orochimaru's heart from Kabuto, like months later, he's just infinite time, I guess. He just needs the heart.
Well, not if you just rewrite it to where Orochimaru's alive. I mean, I also like the idea of Orochimaru and Kakuzu were almost like battling for their like final immortal role. Like, they're both having similar ideas.
I agree. I mean, if decomposition isn't canon in Naruto, then really it doesn't matter. But actually, I was thinking about this the other day. I think it low-key, so memes aside, I think we can canonically confirm, provenly, it might be there. If you remember when they find Rasa's body like a month later, there's bugs on him.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. There's nothing that says anything about that. But
it implies something.
It implies it at the very least. Because, like, why would the bugs be there? It's not like an Aburame member's around. The bugs could be there because, I don't know, maybe the body's warm or comfy or cozy, or I don't know, maybe it's eating its chakra and not its skin. But it just seems like it would be eating the skin. I don't know. I'm to be fair, it's on his clothes, literally the outside of his body, but that's besides the point, for obvious reasons.
This also might be filler, but I think in the Asuma filler, when they revive those people via that whatever jutsu that was, I can't remember if we see the corpses before and they just look very like not as fleshy, and then they get revitalized a bit. I don't remember exactly what they look like, but that might be there.
You know what? Screw Orochimaru getting away with this white snake that gets Amaterasu'd anyways after the Sasuke-Itachi fight. Just have Kakuzu get away by a slithery black inky thing that just slithers away.
Like, parallel, they both do it.
Yeah, okay, I'm down with that, yeah. Works for me.
I have a segue to Orochimaru because you said it, but we also haven't finished.
Okay. Just remember the segue, because there is also a lot more here, I'm going to be honest. Do you think that Kakuzu, and this is reading from John the Maven, do you think Kakuzu could unintentionally nerf himself by stealing a dirt tier heart? Like, what if he messes up and grabs Ebisu's heart or something? Does he get crappier? And he's just stuck with a malfunctioning car battery until he loses that heart?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier.
In canon,
you
yes.
Basically have him be weaker because of the heart, but obviously his experience letting him like still be strong. But like he can make it a point and be like, the shinobi these days are all like.
Yeah, it's also.
And that's why his heart's are weakened.
It's somewhat implied in the War Arc because he's just taking random War Arc fodder's hearts compared to like when he fights Naruto, Shikamaru, and all of them. He like has the hearts that he wants rather than just some random hearts that he's like trying to like restart finding new strong people.
Yeah.
So it's implied that his heart's there.
Because he kind of just gets beaten way too easily in the war. You know?
Yeah, shout out Tintin. You know, stronger than Kakashi from Michibuda.
Those two guys from Naruto stronger than.
Yeah. You know what character I am reminded of with Hidan in this rewrite? Muscular! From My Hero Academia. That one episode, Season 3, Episode 4 that Kamui watched. Well, I guess you know that. Actually, how about something like this? This rewrite, Hidan doesn't even feel any grudge towards anyone he killed, and especially towards anyone he fights. Well, I don't know why we would do that, but I'm guessing you're gonna tell me. Like, muscular, yeah.
I mean, it's not really a rewrite. When you had a grudge against the people he killed, just killed them, usually.
I mean, you could definitely do it if you want. But yeah, getting back to what I had to say on this. So, this Hidan Kakuzu Kurenai stuff works especially well, not just through Kakuzu, through like the super genius battle IQ of the Akatsuki with all their experience and craziness that they're able to just one-up anyone so effortlessly and get like a couple moves ahead and blah, 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 even to Shikamaru. This also works to reinforce, especially from Hidan's perspective, since Kakuzu's already doing that, from Hidan's perspective, how terribly sinister and evil the Akatsuki, you know, the terrorist organization is, as well as just going towards the end of Shippuden with like this cruel world of hell with conflict and war and the badness of cycles and all the cycle of hatred and all the other stuff that Pain says. It just works so especially with all of that, just to show how bad the Akatsuki / world is. Sure you would agree with all that? It just like reinforces all of that as a notion. If we're doing this,
there's a lot of good things, especially if we're taking Kakuzu even further.
Exactly, yeah. Like, because, like, yeah, they're an evil terrorist organization, but we don't have really many horror-esque scenes. Like, we have the one Hidan Yugito scene off-screen, basically. But aside from that, like, what do we really have the Akatsuki do that feels sadistic? Like,
yeah. And then you can also easily, I mean, this is true for the data books, but in the story, you can still have the shinobi system be what leads on it. The exception maybe being Kakuzu, depending on who's going to be the final villain who's born Kakuzu's heir and blah, blah, blah. But you can have the shinobi world be what leads them to become this awful, you know.
Yeah. That's not to say the Akatsuki don't do things or say things that would be implied to be awfully bad. Like, Deidara almost nukes the Sand Village, genociding innocent civilians, like thousands of them probably. He stopped, so that fails, but he tried to do it. Same with Pain, he just nuked the Leaf Village, but Tsunade saved them all once again. And even then, he revived them all at the end of the arc anyways. You also have Itachi and Kisame talking about how they're gonna like kill Asuma and Kurenai, and then they're gonna kidnap Kakashi, or like cutting off Naruto's legs so he can't run. But again, all these are just said things that they don't actually do, even if they want to.
Well, Sasori did destroy a nation.
Yeah, but again, off screen.
Yeah.
Who cares? And I'm not gonna count that filler arc.
I like that scene. It was just so cool.
It's
like,
definitely cool. I'll give you that.
The only thing, though, is it kind of undermines Sasori taking that nation when it's like the smallest nation of all time.
Yeah, I know. Filled with cooks, of all people. Who cares?
Yeah, there's one samurai who's like Genny level. Yeah. No wonder he did it. Sasori's not the only one who could have done Shio's 10 puppets could have done it too.
Yeah. I have one more paragraph here, and it's mostly stuff that we've already gone over, but just to cover this. So obviously, before Shikamaru and the others come in to rescue her, that being Kurenai, at the last possible moment, just in the nick of time, in which case, it might be cool to have this remain as like a night battle, with the sun rising during the climax, with the Rasen Shuriken providing as like a beacon of light or hope, glimmering in Kurenai's eyes. You know, the exact same thing they do with Obito, but in this case, during the sunrise. Similar to like when the Minato Naruto farewell scene, just the sunrise with the Rasen Shuriken in this case. It also feel like a movie in this case. But as the sun rises, like it does in Obito's War in the War, or for Kurenai to be at the end of her pregnancy cycle with Mirai being born after the conflict at sunrise, with her name being decided here in this scene.
What does Mirai translate to again?
Future. In this case, it would be cool to like have her name translate to like daybreak or something, or hope even.
Yeah. Well, something I was going to say you could do is, I don't remember word for word what Kakashi says to Kakuzu when he actually kills him, But whether Kakashi lives or dies in this case, when Kakashi's in that scene, Kurenai would just be right there, basically.
Oh my god, that's so awful. Yeah. Like Kakashi's like, you know what you lacked, Kakuzu, the man I'm about to kill in front of Kurenai? The future. And the Kurenai's like, ooh. That's awful.
A little bit nicer than that, but like, that's
it's like, hey, baby of mine, I know what I'm gonna name you now.
The alternative is if Shikamaru's gonna kill Hidan in front of me. He said something about the future.
I mean, I think that just should happen regardless. But no, I definitely like the idea that Kurenai, they were going to cut the baby out and kill Kurenai and steal the baby. And now Kurenai is having her natural... I mean, this would make sense if she's in the pregnancy ward because she's in labor when Hidan and Kakuzu are doing this anyways. So ignore the fact that she would probably be in a lot of pain. But hey, she's in Shinobi. She endures. So hey, she's just fine or whatever. So she just gives birth after they're defeated. Sun rises and they're like, I know what to name you now. Mirai. That's the end of the arc. That'd be cool.
Doesn't Akatsuki like mean basically that? That'd be hilarious. Just names her Akatsuki.
That's so stupid. Akatsuki is Aka for red and Tsuki for moon.
I thought they say in the manga somewhere that like it means like a daybreak or something.
Red moon is Akatsuki.
Really?
They have like the cloud logos, which might be what you're being confused by. I mean,
I swore somewhere it said that it means daybreak.
I'll look it up on Jisho right now. Akatsuki. Yeah, it means daybreak.
Okay,
but
so there you go. So she can name her kid Akatsuki.
Yeah, it would make sense for why it means daybreak because red moon. But, like, it literally means red moon. And it's clearly in reference to the Akatsuki's goal. You know, the red moon during the war.
that does make more sense because it has Suki in the name.
Yeah, as well as, like, yeah, the Tsukiyomi as well. I don't think that's meant to be that. It's Tsuko, not Tsuki. But
so with that in mind, instead of the red cloud...
The Eye of the Moon plan.
On the outfit.
Well, if it's daybreak, then yeah, I'm down with clouds.
Yeah, so which is it supposed to be?
Yeah, no, I think that actually would be really cool, though. The Akatsuki are defeated at daybreak, and to be fair, this would be a lot more meaningful for the Japanese speaker, but it's like that double speak of like, I'm gonna name you Akatsuki. It sounds really ridiculous for the English speakers, but...
Yeah, thank you. The organization that killed your dad.
And almost killed both of us
Something
right
you could
now.
do, though, because, for example, similar to how, like, Boruto is like a play on Neji's name in a way, Bolt versus Screw, you could do something similar to where it's gonna be a different word from Akatsuki, but it's a play on daybreak in a way that isn't the same word, but they both mean. So you could do it in a way that where it's kind of cooler because it's not literally naming an Akatsuki, but in a way it's referencing it while also indicating like the defeat of the Akatsuki somehow. Don't ask me how, because I'm not.
So
Japanese,
if we're doing this, if we're just renaming Mirai to Akatsuki, then I need Sheen to be Mirai's antagonist. So the Akatsuki stops the Akatsuki.
I mean, is anyone gonna complain about that? Just have Sheen be Ryuga, whatever his name is.
Yeah, exactly.
Combine their goals.
Everything else can stay the same. Yeah, Shin just doesn't care about reviving the Akatsuki. That's Ryuga now. Everything else stays the same. There you go.
Nothing.
It just works.
That's funny.
In fact, maybe in this Mirai arc, when she stops the Akatsuki through Ryuga, maybe that's when like Kakashi or Kurenai or whoever at the end of the arc reveals why she's named Akatsuki. That can just go along with the like thing that Asuma / Kurenai left behind for her. It goes sort of with her character arc in that arc.
Like obviously in Naruto we can have the answer too for the audience, but for Mirai,
Yeah.
she can be wondering it throughout the arc. Like when
Yeah.
Ryuga first says, like, oh, I'm gonna revive the Akatsuki, she can realize the similarity of their names, how it means the same thing. She'd be like, why would my parents name me after the organization that killed my like she can just not know
Bro,
the
and that works really
Akatsuki, the
well because
organization who
that
killed her dad. She could get a revelation because Kurenai could have just not told her.
yeah,
Like
and
what
that also
exactly.
parallels Sarada's story, her like whole conflict at the beginning with seeing the picture of her dad in the Akatsuki.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool idea. So she gets
Yeah.
the revelation for the first time from Ryuga, and then she's wondering, like, why would my parents do that? And we get the answer at the end of the arc. So the
Yeah.
Naruto fans know, obviously, but it's the same way that Naruto fans knew everything about Sasuke and so on. So
yeah, I mean, they're already doing the thing in that arc anyways in canon that Mirai is being asked, who's the king? Oh, find the answer to the king. Oh, the end of the arc. Oh, I know who the king is. I think they also do a thing with her finding out the meaning behind her name, as if it's not obvious. But in this case, they just do that as well.
Yeah, it's just a different name.
Yeah, exactly. But it would also be really funny. Okay, I want the slice of life scenes to exist for the sole reason. Anytime Mirai goes to a new town and tells her name, the civilians just start freaking out and running away from her.
Yeah, it's kind of like
hi, I'm the Akatsuki.
She doesn't know why they're afraid of her.
Yeah,
and it works really well because some of the villagers will be like whispering to each other. Mirai doesn't hear it, but they're whispering about that Akatsuki guy, Ryuga, who's going around the city saying shit.
Yes.
They're like, she's one of them. Like
that actually works perfectly because yeah, instead of them being scared of the Akatsuki from 16 years ago or whatever, they're scared because the new Akatsuki guy who's now doing stuff. Maybe even like maybe that's the reason that Mirai meets that blonde girl who I'm forgetting the name of off the top of my head that goes to Ryuga to find her dead parents or whatever.
At first she thinks she's Ryuga, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
She realizes, she's just this nice girl.
Oh, that's so cool, especially for the dramatic irony that at that point the audience would realize it's like Hitchcock's bomb under the table. We know what the Akatsuki is, but Mirai doesn't. So when this girl comes to her because of the Akatsuki, it's like, oh, I can't wait for this tension to unfold, for that bomb to explode.
And then she leaves to go find the real Akatsuki anyway. That's what when she realized that she goes because she wants her mom back or whatever, dad, whoever it was.
Yeah.
And she leaves because she's like, oh, you're not the Akatsuki I wanted.
Okay, this is completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. If we're doing this, it would just be cool if Ryuga's cave just was one of the old Akatsuki hideouts, like the one where sorceries was fought in.
The
so cool.
Oh, that one, okay.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Like, I don't know if there'd still be puppet remains around or anything. Probably clean that up, but there'd probably still be damage that you could see.
What would be really cool is if somehow in this rewrite Hidan Kaksu arc, they end up in another Akatsuki hideout. They just get there somehow, and they have Asuma's blood on the wall or something.
Yeah. It's just a good idea. I mean, Ryuga's cape is already just the Akatsuki cape without the red clouds on it. It just works.
Just add them.
Yeah, it's that easy.
Shin doesn't need them. He's shirtless in the actual fight anyway.
Which is, you know what? That's actually perfect because that's one of the thing with the Akatsuki. Every time before they die, they have their shirt ripped. It funny. Just works. Even with Shin.
He shouldn't have taken it off.
Yeah, literally. Oh, that's so stupid. This has honestly been one of the low-key best rewrites we've ever done. It's so big.
There's so many good ones. So back to Kakuzu's role in the Hidan Kakuzu rewrite arc. Because we've got a very obvious foundation for Hidan.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly do we want to do with Kakuzu? Besides what we said, he's the strategist. Naruto's going to win by an actually unpredictable strategy that's actually cool and good and interesting and unpredictable. Not the most obvious thing of all time. But what do we want to do with Kakuzu?
So Hidan's whole thing with Shikamaru is with the king. Kakuzu's thing can be, it already is, but it can be more about the future.
Yeah, it shouldn't be history, future stuff. I think
Yeah, especially if we're having him be Black Zetsu anyway. So whatever Kakashi says to him at the end of the arc, that works better here because he's Black Zetsu.
Because even if he isn't Black Zetsu, they're kind of doing that anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
Just amplifying it.
So, but what do we have him specifically do? So we already have Naruto thinking about Sasuke in a way that's like him connecting to his past, whereas Kakuzu's not doing anything there. So we could have a way to like, so Naruto's like bridging towards the future because of Sasuke, his past, to build that future where he can defeat Kakuzu, whereas Kakuzu can't do that. This could also segue set up towards Naruto being the bridge of peace, or towards the war arc.
Also do a thing. I don't know if you like this, but Naruto's looking towards the future, whereas Kakuzu, through his dialogue, you could tell he's always talking about and looking back at the past in various ways. So you just have him different ways to do it, but the point is, he's like almost like stuck in the past in a way.
You know what? Okay, they're already doing this cool thing to where Land of Waves sets up dream, goal, ambition. Specifically, the word ambition is what's important there. Mm-hmm. And then the second arc, well, really third arc, Konoha Crush, we're having Orochimaru screaming about his ambition right before Hiruzen dies, and then Hiruzen has this is like one of the most narratively significant lines in this entire arc. Hiruzen tells Orochimaru, what you have isn't ambition, or like it's not ambition, it's twisted. What you have is obsession. And so we could carry that over to here, to where Naruto's ambition, his goal, his dream is to become Hokage in the future. That's what he's looking forward to. Kakuzu's obsession, in fact, you can have Naruto point that out, just like how Hiruzen did, to show the next generation is taking up where the predecessors left off, where they died. Same with Shikamaru for Asuma, now it's Naruto for Hiruzen. Especially since he wants to become Hokage just like Hiruzen was. But Kakuzu's obsession is with the past. It's with the shinobi who have already passed away. Maybe that's what he needs. He needs a shinobi dead for him to steal their hearts. So Kakuzu's obsessed with all of the previous shinobi who were strong in the past and taking their hearts.
Well, okay.
Maybe that's like his flaw.
So that is, okay, so whereas it makes way more sense as far as his immortality ability to be that he needs to take a living heart. Whereas that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
It does make it a lot easier if they have to be dead for a few reasons. One, a lot easier to get Haku and Zabuza's hearts without changing Land of Waves.
Yeah.
He just goes after they're dead.
Exactly.
How is he going to get stronger? Okay, well, in this case, if he just doesn't have Hashirama's heart in the first fight, he has it for the next fight. You know, like stuff like that. It would make it a lot easier to do those things.
Yeah.
But it makes way less sense. I mean, you can make it make sense, but it makes a lot more sense if they need to be alive, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, you could also have the line of, like, something along the lines of Kakuzu was obsessed with stealing the shinobis, the hearts of the shinobi who have already passed on long ago, rather than trying to cultivate the next generation. This is awful to say. The next generation to be even stronger so he can steal their hearts instead. He was looking forward to that. He was looking to the past. But I don't know how you can do a line like that, but you totally could. And that's his flaw.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because the people in the present have surpassed the past to build towards the future. That's why Naruto defeats Kakuzu, who could never do that. You could also have a line, since we're bringing Haku back through the ice released heart anyways, Naruto obviously knows about Haku's ambition. In fact, it's really tragic that Haku died from Naruto's perception, supporting Zabuza's ambition. The fact that he's fighting Haku because Sasuke, he had a dream too, and all these other things. You could have it be to where maybe Naruto's like going nine tails of rage because he's almost disrespecting Haku's ambition or taking away from it, or trying to use Haku's ambition for his own as a tool. Haku even now is a tool. Yeah, I think that could work as well. So in a way, but no, this is cool because this is where you can have like a villain with a point to where both Kakuzu, and this is something that Kakuzu can say, both Kakuzu and Naruto's no better than Kakuzu is, because the ambition that Kakuzu's stealing, he's fighting for himself. Just like Gar, he was fighting for himself. Whereas Naruto, he's fighting for himself as well, his selfish dream to become Hokage. And that can be where maybe Naruto wavers or something. That can be where maybe we start building towards Naruto's war arc thing, where he does want to fight for himself. He's here. He's protecting Kakashi and everyone else. He's saying everyone else for Naruto to fight alone in the pain arc. Everyone else, stay away so I can fight him alone. You're too weak. I have to fight him alone. War arc, same thing. I have to fight everyone alone. That could be where this starts being built because of what Kakuzu says.
Okay.
Just an idea, throwing it out there.
Something else you could do. Now, this one is going to have some pros and cons. So, Kakuzu's hearts, as it is, are like these monstrous black things. Works really well for the monster thing. It's going to work well to differentiate what I'm about to say from Eno Tensei and Pain 6 Passive Pains. But something you could do is have his heart masks just be like the mask can be on their face, but the body will be the body of the heart. It'll just grow that body. It'll look like that body, like a shadow clone type thing. It'll just like the black gooey stuff will just change colors when it's formed. So it'll look like a black gooey Haku, and then it changes into Haku with that mask. It's gonna be almost like the mask Haku, but
oh my god! No,
case,
that works. That works.
For Haku could just be Haku's mask.
Literally, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Just have it be Haku's mask. It's so funny.
And then like. And in fact, you could just have all the masks be different Anbu masks. So there's like a leaf Anbu mask, there's and so on. You have one from each nation. But one place it would look like the bodies of the people in question.
That could work too. Yeah, in fact, maybe if he does have Hashirama's heart, instead of a mask, it just has the first Hashirama's the Hokage hat.
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Something you could also have him do here is, I mean, honestly, who cares about Gari and Paku, or whatever her name was? I already forgot. I'm thinking of Paku Noda and Hunter x Hunter, but I think it was Pakura, that's what it was. Okay, I know the filler gives them stuff, but their abilities are cool. Don't get me wrong. But in the manga, they are not characters. They don't exist. So in this case, what Kakuzu can do is go after Kekkei users from each village. Hashirama's wood style, Kekkei, perfect, got the East village. Haku, ice style from the Mist village, perfect. Hakura, scorch style from the Sand village, perfect. Gari, explosion style from the Earth village, the Stone village, perfect. I don't care who you want to pull from the cloud, pick your favorite made-up character. Got a Kekkei, it could be Dari's brother. You know, there, he's got 5 Kekkei users, so he's not just using all 5 elements. He'll start with that, and they'll be like, what? He has all 5 elements. Well, he must have got them from 5 different elemental users. And Kakuzu could be like, oh, please, that's not all. And then he reveals, like, that he's like, I don't just have 5 elements. I have 5 Kekkei.
Oh, that's so much cooler, bro. Yeah, because again, the whole thing about this arc is the nature elementals. It's Sasuke's already learned his, Naruto's learning his, Kakashi has all 5. He's going against someone else who has all 5. This can be the way that the Akatsuki ones up even the coolest characters. I don't just have 5 nature elementals.
What do they mention in Naruto's elemental explanation? Naruto asks about ice style and wood style. Well, he asks about ice style, and they explain it, and then Yamato also explains wood style. Those would be 2 of the Kekkei Kakuzu's gotta use.
Yeah,
you could even have a thing to where Kakashi just lists 5 examples, and they happen to be the 5 that Kakuzu's gonna happen to have.
For the most part, this doesn't really change anything anyways, considering Kakuzu's hearts are already fighting with crazy fire style and lightning style anyways. So the fire style in this case can be explosion style. In fact, I think that makes a lot more sense for like the heat on sacrificial kill your enemy jutsu that he does. It's just explosions instead of fire.
Kakuzu's combining the wind and fire elements.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but you can have him just do the Kekkei for that, or you can have him be a third level of progression. He starts off the 5 elements separately. Then he's like, well, how about I do this? He starts combining them. They're like, oh my god, this is insane. And then he gets to reveal like, ha, I haven't even been trying. I can do this. And then he combines the Kekkei.
Exactly. So is the Searing Migraine the jutsu he uses on the heat on sacrificial one, or is that a different fire style?
Yeah,
I forget.
I believe so. I believe Searing Migraine is the one that he does with the fire and wind.
Okay, it is that one. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that could just be explosion. There you go. Cool.
Yeah.
But then also there's a moment.
we gotta have either
Scorched hours.
someone we don't care about get hit by that, or do something. He only hits the trees.
It's got to do something. I mean, Delta's beams hits Kawaki's arm, so that's doing something there with that.
Okay, we gotta rewrite like how Scorched Out works, because the way it works, we can't be touched by
that. So this doesn't make sense, but Tsunade is saying after the arc, hey, Naruto, bad Rasen Shuriken, because it permanent damage. It could just be Scorched Out that hit him instead. Oh. Doesn't make sense to ban the Rasen Shuriken, but it's only banned for half an arc anyways.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she could just have the Rasen Shuriken not be banned, I guess. Something out of that.
Maybe it hits like the Nine Tails' chakra or something. I don't know.
I mean, it could be what makes his jutsu go out the first time, and then the second time, I don't know how he gets around it, but we do whatever.
Yeah. I think from the cloud...
Instead of it just failing, it can fail because of what Kakuzu did.
Yeah, that's fair. From the cloud, I think it's fair to say that he could just take one of the Black Lightning users, Kekkei Genkai, because then instead of just
Black Lightning's not again, Scorched Out, or not Scorched Out, sorry, Storm released.
Storm, yeah, sure, that whatever. Because in this case, I mean, he's all like he's already shooting lightning style at Choji, and Kakashi's countering it by grabbing it with Chidori and absorbing. I don't know.
It's really cool, but made no sense.
Yeah, so in this case, instead of that, it's just Kakashi's countering Storm style or Black Lightning or whatever it is with his Chidori.
Yeah. And like he gets hurt.
Yeah.
It's good.
Exactly. And that's what yeah, that's what Kakuzu's saying. Like, oh, I don't just have 5 nature elementals, I have 5 Kekkei Genkai. You only have 5 nature elementals. I'm better than you in every way.
Yeah. That's a cool idea. Like they think that they're fine because Kakashi has all 5. That's when Kakuzu's like, yeah, not exactly, buddy.
Yeah, they're like, oh, thank goodness we have Kakashi here because he can counter anything that Kakuzu throws at us.
Okay, I got an even cooler idea. So, because Kakashi is the copy ninja, but he can't copy Kekkei Genkai. So he can start off being Kakuzu Jutsu.
Yeah.
And then Kakuzu's all like, Kakashi, the copy ninja. You can copy all these jutsu, blah, blah, blah. However, there is something you can't copy. And he's like, and then he starts doing the jutsu, and Kakashi tries to copy it, and it doesn't work. He's like, no, it can't be. And then Kakashi's just like, I don't just have 5 elements, I have 5 KK.
Oh, this is so cool. Oh my god, I can't believe how cool we're making Kakuzu.
I'm like, we're not even doing that much narrative right now. We're just making this fight cool.
I know. I mean, it ties in with the narrative, but still, it's just so cool.
But it's so easy to come up with shit, bro. I love you. It's like
Kakuzu is like the perfect villain to counter Kakashi. He is Kakashi's counter. It's just Kekkei Genkai.
Yeah, and it's cool though because Haku's someone Kakashi's interacted with. And you can just write it to where Kakashi's interacted with all of these people. Something you could do, if you don't want to have Gari be the explosion style user, he could... Okay, this actually, no. There's no real way he can get... I was going to say, you could have Sasuke versus Deidara be before this, but he's not getting Deidara's heart. He blew that up.
So, obviously, we know that in the war arc, we have Edo Haku who jumps in front of Edo Zabuza to tank Kakashi's Chidori for the second time. We can keep that. Do you think it would take away if Haku's heart does that to Kakashi at this arc somehow?
No, because it doesn't protect. Well, you could. Okay, having Zabuza there ruins it because he doesn't have a Kekkei Genkai. That's one of the rewrites where he does.
Yeah, so maybe Haku protects Kakuzu.
Kakuzu like that, but it'd be really funny if he just protects the Zabuza mask like that.
Yeah, I know. So I think Zabuza's mask would be funny. I think more realistically, he should be protecting Kakuzu in this case. And Naruto can be, again, extremely angry about that because, once again, Haku's being used as a tool to protect someone else's ambition. It's like the same exact thing. It's just used by someone else. In fact, that can be like...
It would be getting in... Okay, this would ruin the Edo Tensei moment because you'd just be doing the same thing twice. But it would be interesting if Kakuzu cuts through Haku without hesitation. Unlike Zabuza, according to Kakashi.
I see what you're trying to do there. So okay, if we have this, I feel like that The problem is, if they're making the point that what Haku did was bad here because he's throwing away his ambition to protect someone else, but I feel like he shouldn't do that in the war arc. just let Zabuza be stabbed and they both just fade away because like, it's like, Haku, you didn't protect me this time. You can follow your own dream now. And they're both happy about it.
Yeah, the problem was that Kabuto mind controlled them. And he's just doing that to mess with Kakashi.
I know, yeah. Well, I mean, you say that. I feel like Haku broke out of the mind control, which is why he jumped in the way. It wasn't Kaku, it was Haku.
I feel that. I agree.
Yeah. But besides that, I definitely like this. I feel like I had more to say, but what
should Kakashi have interacted with? This would be kind of like a Jiraiya moment, but like Kakashi, after he realized his ice style and wood style, he then realizes like he's interacted with all 5 of these people somehow. Now the question is, do we want to have?
I was thinking that too.
Obviously, well, I guess he has interacted with Hashirama, but he's interacted with the ability. Do we want to have previously shown Kakashi fight? Well, he's fought an explosion style user Datara, and then.
Oh, well, what I was gonna say, during his
style and Gale style user that he just does fight in a previous arc somewhere, like throw that in, or
I think it'd be fair to say during his Anbu escapades, or at some point in time, he fought the 7 Ninja Swordsmen, which is how he could have met that explosion style user. Technically, he could have met Zabuza through that same fight, or maybe he just heard about it from Guy. Could work, because might die.
There's a lot of ways they can do things, but.
Yeah. The others are a little bit harder, but...
Yeah. Where do we want to include, like, the freaking scorch style?
Yeah, it would be a little bit coincidental to a pretty extreme degree if Kakashi's met these 5 individuals. And
well,
also
the abilities in this case.
Yeah, the abilities does make a lot more sense. I think that could just work better in that regard.
Because we're just having Hashirama be one of the Kekkei Genkai, so... He didn't eat Hashirama.
So
he's
Yamato
seen the ability
in that
via
case.
Yamato.
Yeah, so that works. I like that. In fact, maybe
explosion style, he's met Datara. That's how he's seen the ability.
Yeah, I actually like that because
he can have met Pakura or someone else with Scorch style, someone else with Gale styles.
And that can get back to power versus shinobi tactics, basically the thing that the Otsutsuki do in Boruto, whereas the ninjas are weaker, but they defeat them with the shinobi tactics. That can be how Kakashi counters Kakuzu. Kakuzu is more powerful. He is not just nature elementals, he has Kekkei Genkai. But Kakashi has counters because he's met these Kekkei Genkai before, so he knows how to work around them.
He's seen them. So.
Even with his weaker arsenal, he's fighting as a ninja to counter Kakuzu, who is Kakashi's counter.
The only problem is, though, he doesn't win. It's Naruto.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Naruto, well, he will have seen 3. If I just want to rewrite it to where the Scorch style and Gale style users, Naruto was there for that mission too.
Yeah. I mean, we could just still have Kakashi take out a couple hearts, including Haku's heart, for obvious reasons. So, I mean, and even then, it's like, Kakashi took out half of Kakuzu, Naruto took out the other half.
Kakashi actually took out... Well, yeah, Kakashi took out 2, Naruto took out 2, Shikamaru took out 1. Well,
yeah.
Technically took out 1, but...
Yeah. I mean, you get the idea. It was Shikamaru. It was Hidan Padu Shikamaru.
Yeah. Yeah. In this case, it can be like the same idea. So, who should Shikamaru's heart be with Hidan in this case? Which Kekkei Genkai user is best for that? Be the one that's the least about the Gale style user. Who cares?
Yeah.
You could also have instead of Pakura Scorch style. I know this isn't really like the 2 elements type of nature energy, but we can just write it into where the Saiyan Jutsu Magnet style is wind and earth. We'll just make that specifically what it is. And then he has a Saiyan style user of some sort. So it's like, it can be Rasa, it can be the 3rd Kazekage, it can be the 1st Kazekage. I don't care. In fact, the 1st Kazekage works. He's got the 1st Hokage. You know, actually, okay, Haku would ruin this, but he could just have the hearts of all the 1st Kage, and they can just all have these Kekkei Genkai. Don't even know most of the 1st Kage anyway, so not gonna hurt the story to write in that they have these Kekkei Genkai.
I was thinking that as well. Yeah. Well, I was thinking that because I mentioned Hashirama's hat or heart would be wearing the first Hokage hat. So it'd just be cool to have all the 5 hearts wearing the 5 hats.
Hokage hats, yeah. And then obviously the first Kazekage can be some sort of sand type user. And then, which would relate to Naruto. He's going to deal with the sand user. It's like Gaara, it's this connection. And then the Cloud Guy's got Gale style, whatever. The only thing is, okay, so are we just going to get rid of Haku? You can't just have 4 of them in Haku. It's like, that's just weird.
Well, something you could do, actually. It's a stupid big rewrite, I guess. But, like, maybe you could have it to where... I don't know how this is going to work. But the Land of Waves or Land of Water, whatever you want to call it, it just formed. Like, it's the newest of the 5 great nations, and it was just formed. And so... there was just now a first Kazekage, or sorry, Mizukage, or whatever you want to have it be. And somehow or another you could get to Taku and Zabuza there. I don't know.
Well, it wasn't Haku for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Land of Waves people, like they named the Great Naruto Bridge a Great Naruto Bridge. Maybe just out of Haku's honor, they name him the first Kazekage, and then they just go to the second Kaze, or sorry, Mizukage. It's stupid.
They landed the Land of Waves Kage.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure, why not?
Here's a 6th heart.
Yeah, stupid Mizukage with the Land of Water.
I think you have to either, personally, it either needs to be the first generation of Kage, they all Kage Genkai, or it's not the Kage other than Hashirama, that's a coincidence, and the others are just random Kage Genkai users. Like, you have to pick one or the other.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the problem is that, I mean, they're coming from the Leaf Village, so it would make sense for Kakuzu to specifically mention Hashirama, but it'd be weird for him to, like, just go out of his way to only mention Hashirama, and think, oh yeah, the other 4 Kage are there too. It's like,
well, in this case...
it could just be the first one he pulls out for reveals.
And then they could be like, how old is this guy? Or whatever. Well, yeah, he could say, reminds me when I fought the first Hokage. He could say, it reminds me of when I fought each of the first Kage. You know? Yeah,
okay.
And then actually, he pulls out all 5 hearts.
No, I got something even better. He doesn't pull out the 5 hearts for the 5 Kage until Naruto shows up. And he's like, this is going to be like a Chiyo pulls out the 10 puppets, Sasori pulls out the 100. Oh, you destroyed baby man. Well, I destroyed a nation. In this case, Kaku's going to be like, oh, you want to become Hokage, eh? Well, actually, I killed the 5
Hokage. Like, you want to become Hokage? Fine. I'll let you become Kage, but then I'll take your heart, just like these 5 Kage.
or like, oh, you just want to be the Hokage? Well, I'm the Go Kage. He pulls out the 5 Kage.
Like, the power of a Hokage. No, he could be like, the power of a Hokage. That's pretty strong. But what about the power of the 5 Kage? No, okay. Screw Madara versus the 5 Kage. You don't have Kaguya versus the 5 Kage. Just with all 5 previous Kage.
Oh my god. We've made this as much like Sasori as we can with this one.
Hey, Kaku's abilities are pretty similar.
Yeah. Well, I also think another way that we could get to the final form of Kakuzu, instead of it just being a normal thing that he can just do whenever he wants, I think it makes sense for it to be like the movie type of thing that movies typically do. Like the Galel movie, they destroy the antagonist, and then technically the final villain's the environment, but like they like this one big final monster big boss afterwards. They did the same thing with Boro. Team 7 defeats Boro, narratively and physically, and then he transforms into this big monster thing. They do the same thing with a lot of villains in a lot of anime, a lot of movies, a lot of writing things. They could just do the same thing with Kakuzu here. They do destroy Kakuzu's 5 hearts and or Kakuzu, because Shikamaru, because it doesn't really make sense anyways. Hidan is stabbing Kakuzu's heart. Kakuzu has his heart, and then externally 5 other hearts from other people.
No,
Kakuzu.
4.
Okay, 4 other hearts, that's fine. But it doesn't make sense for Kakuzu to just not have died there, considering His heart was stabbed and killed. Yes, it's a heart still jutsu. He can replace it with one of his other hearts. Blah, blah, blah. I think a cool way to do that, they destroy Kakuzu's 4 or 5 hearts, whatever you want to say, and then Shikamaru does the final blow on Kakuzu's final heart. But then Kakuzu, it's going to be like Madara doing Edo Tensei as this Edo Tensei's undone. Kakuzu's going to do his heart still jutsu on his own heart before he takes his last breath. And that gets to the weird, monstrous amalgamation of Kakuzu's heart form as he's like the monster at the end there. I think that's the way to do that.
That's an idea. What I was going to say is something different. It's like kind of sad. So it's going to be like they think they've won, but there's another round left to where Shikamaru gets that last heart. But at the same time, pick whoever you want to die. In the exact same moment, Kakuzu succeeded in stealing someone's heart. So all they've done is basically trade. Just got a new last heart at the exact same moment that one of the hearts was killed.
You could do that. The question is, who would you do that with? And you got to make it someone fodder that we don't know or care about. That's a problem. I like mine.
If Choji's not died in the Sasuke retreat, I know who to kill.
Yeah. That would also get to our war arc.
Why not kill Ino too? What is Ino gonna do with the rest? Who cares?
I don't want him to die, though. I like mine, though, because you could also have a line of something like, there's no such thing as true immortality, but now I really am the immortal duo, or something. If he takes his own heart, he's technically dead and alive at the same time. He can no longer die now. They could do something crazy there. Taking his own heart's also just cool for a monster Akatsuki member. Shows how far they're willing to go as well. It reminds me of Delta blowing herself up after the Naruto fight. Kakuzu's doing this risky gamble, basically, and it paid off. He's
the
even
thing
stronger
is, in
than he was
this case, he's
before.
not surviving, because I was going to say, you could have him do a thing to where he survives this, to where like they walk away from the dead body and then his heart beats again after they're gone and he gets up. Like kind of like Datara's fake out death type thing.
Yeah, they do a similar thing in Demon Slayer
season
1, episode 19.
So it depends on whether you want him to survive or if you want him to have that final form.
Yeah, well, technically it's season 1, episode 20 of Demon Slayer where they do that with Rui, but either. No, I definitely like that. I might be biased towards this idea because I do something similar in the False Perfections movie, but you'll see that in due time. Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I want to keep going. Especially since I never got to my Orochimaru segue. But
yeah,
I shouldn't. Should leave.
You should do that.
Yes, considering I'm gonna get 6 hours of sleep at best at this rate. So.
Okay, in that case, you should leave. You could write it down in Boruto Topics or wherever it is, or just reply to it. Be like, "We're doing this first thing next time." At this point, this Kakuzu Hidan rewrite has lasted 3 podcasts, so it makes sense to just keep the ball rolling with this regard.
I mean, we definitely can, but luckily, my Orochimaru segue is the second most recent rewrite. So it's not hard to find.
That works.
Well, there's probably older ones too, but the one in particular I was going to do that I wrote earlier today is very recent.
Sure. Oh my gosh, there's 25 new
There's
messages.
actually 2 parts to it.
Okay.
But the second part is something I segued off of my rewrite.
Well,
anyway, you can ask Hernan and Herman Trout and Immortal if they want to join. In fact, I'll invite them, and then when they join, well, it depends on whether you want to enter or not, but it's up to you.
I'll leave it up to them. If we want to keep going, we can. If not, then I will end it here since I have to go to the bathroom a little bit anyways, but I don't have to go too desperately, but a little bit desperate. Anyways, hello, Herman Trout. What have you thought about the rewrite stuff that we've been doing, even though you came pretty late?
Yeah, I was listening in. I think it was pretty cool. Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot more you could have done. They could have done with both Kakuzu and Hidan, but mostly Kakuzu because he was pretty straightforward. So I think it's cool.
Yeah,
cool idea.
Yeah. Did you have any ideas of your own? Anything that you really, really liked, or anything that you hated that you couldn't stand to see that we mentioned?
And I'll hear those thoughts on stream some other time.
Yes.
Man, every time I show up, Kamui leaves. It's crazy.
I mean, if you had a nickel for every time it happened, you'd have 2 nickels. Oh, but it's weird it happened twice, or whatever the saying is. I don't know, maybe it happened more than that, but it's happened 2 nights in a row. Was it last night, or 2 bisected nights in a row if you count the other night? That's not how bisection works. But either way, hello. Okay, so back to my question. Anything you loved or hated?
Regarding your Kakuzu stuff and Hidan stuff?
Yes.
I don't know. I enjoy some of the new parallels you were coming up with, and all that type of thing.
My favorite of it is the quote-unquote villain of a point where Kakuzu says to Naruto, "You and I, you're no better than me, Naruto. You're also fighting for yourself." And that's a little bit of a callback to Gar. I think that's a cool line to add for Naruto going into the pain arc, especially. Like, oh, he's doing this for his own dream. Oh, Sasuke doesn't even want to be saved. He's doing this because Naruto wants it. Not to keep his promise of a lifetime, which actually goes into the 5 Kage Summit as well, which also can go into Naruto's panic attack. But he's not doing this for other people, even if he originally said he was. He's doing this now for himself. So he's no better than Kakuzu.
Yeah, I mean, he was, he's always working towards his goal that he's working towards is always for other people, because of course he wants to save Sasuke, he wants to save his friend, thinks saving his friend will lead him to being a better Hokage and etc. But no, it is a good idea, because of course Naruto at that point in the series has a lot of darkness that he is yet to resolve within himself. So
yeah. Maybe even, like, Kakuzu recognizes Naruto's level of power after the first Rasen Shuriken fails or something like that. Like, oh, wow, that's a Kage level jutsu. Wow, Naruto, that's really nostalgic. That brings me back to the time when I killed the first Kages or something. And that's how we get to that could also be cool.
Yeah.
Well, lots of ideas.
Yeah, because everyone memes on the fact that Kakuzu fought Hashirama, so it would be cooler if he had fought. If he mentioned someone else that he actually killed. Was,
or maybe he could have a line, something like, "Wow, Naruto, this is really getting me hyped up. I haven't fought an opponent this strong since I killed the first Kages." I could also work a line like that. Huh. Did you have anything to add?
Well, this is sort of unrelated, but this kind of has to do with the same arc.
Okay.
Do you think Naruto surpasses Kakashi at the end of that arc, or no?
Well, I did a translation for Thunder God about this one, if you've seen that video.
Yeah, I've seen TG's videos, yeah.
Well, the video where he mentioned that in and showed the mistranslation. That's this guy. I did that. Oh yeah. So I would say whatever Thunder God said there better than I could say it here.
Okay, so you think, he did surpass Kakashi, because Kakashi basically admits it.
Well, there you go. Oh, PRB in a few minutes. Well, man, by the time you get back, we'll probably not be streaming anymore. But did you have any other topics that you want to go over in general besides that? Well, I guess that is the same arc, but different topic. Do you think so, or do you disagree with that Naruto surpassed Kakashi in that arc?
Well, I think it's probably true. You got, like, surpass is kind of a vague word, of course. Like, people, like, obviously, Fukasaku says that Naruto surpasses his mentors or whatever later on. And it's kind of a vague statement, but I do think that it's likely that with the Rasen Shuriken, Naruto is on a similar tier as Kakashi, especially since Kakashi was going to, blow away Kakuzu in the same sort of way with his Kamui that Naruto would have Naruto did, rather.
Yeah, so that's what I think he really means, is that he's surpassing base Kakashi, or maybe just 3 Tomoe Kakashi. Not Kakashi at his peak with this Mangekyo, because that just doesn't make sense. But also, he's surpassing him with the Rasen Shuriken. He's not beating Kakashi in Taijutsu, you know? He's not outstatting Kakashi or outspeeding him or anything. He still, in my opinion, he lacks fundamentals, especially compared to Kakashi, who has a lot more experience on him, let alone the Sharingan. So I do think Kakashi would win in, like, pretty much every regard. It's just Naruto's raw power output, the fact he's able to control the Nine Tails a little better now, the fact he's able to do the Rasen Shuriken, even if it's a little bit unstable or unpredictable. It's similar to how Naruto, quote-unquote, mastered the Rasengan the first time he did it against Kabuto. But he hasn't, because he's using another Shadow Clone. He's doing it in this weird, unorthodox way. But like Jiraiya says, weird isn't necessarily bad. But he hasn't mastered the Rasengan. He's not doing it the same way Minato did. He's still wasting chakra with the Shadow Clone and all that other stuff. It's still a tricky kind of way to get around mastering it or doing it. But he's got it. He has the Rasengan. And that's the point. Naruto has the Rasen Shuriken, regardless if he can get it off or not. And so it's like his potential has surpassed Kakashi, but I don't think he necessarily has. But it also makes sense for it to be him surpassing Kakashi, since he has to, like, surpass Jiraiya for the pain arc, and Jiraiya should be stronger than Kakashi, and blah, blah, blah. There's lots of things there. Yeah. That's like right after anyways.
I've always just had a hard time sort of imagining a scenario where that Naruto fights that Kakashi and, like, just beats him up. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I guess, like, if you rationalize it, like, 3 Tomoes, but as far as it goes, that works, I guess.
I mean, I do think it does depend on Nine Tails as well, because we see that 4 Tails is beating up Jiraiya, who should be stronger than Kakashi, and then Kakashi was freaking out at the 3 Tails a couple arcs ago. To be fair, I do think Kakashi does get stronger throughout Shippuden, in fact, realistically, throughout the entire series, so he should be stronger than that version of Kakashi from back then. He could probably scrap with the 3 Tails, if not more.
Sure.
But either way on that, I do think Naruto would probably need the 9 Tails in order to maybe come out on top against Kakashi. But at the very least, Gamabunta would just, bring down the house jutsu. Kakashi can't do anything about that, unless you want to count Kamui. But could he even Kamui away Gamabunta at that point in time? It's like, Kamui's just a one-shot GG, though. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it also depends on, like, if Naruto does, like, 1,000 Shadow Clones or whatever, whether he needs 9 Tails chakra or not for that at this point in time. What would Kakashi do against that? We know that Sasuke at the beginning of Shippuden is able to just beat up 1,000 bandits, I guess, or whatever, which is apparently impressive. Yeah. He's not doing some big, massive jutsu. He's just taking them down one by one, just tactfully, just handedly, similar to what, like, Madara's doing at the beginning of his introduction. Before the boulders, he's just taking them out one by one. That's what Sasuke's doing there. So Kakashi might have to do that, but I think that'll just drain his stamina. But I don't know by how much. But he could probably do it. I don't know.
I mean, I think a bunch of, like 1,000 Naruto clones would be difficult for sure.
I mean, Kakashi might just be able to, with a Sharingan, see which Naruto is the real Naruto, so the Shadow Clones are essentially useless. I mean, Kimimaro was able to take out all 1,000 of Naruto Shadow Clones when he was a kid, but this is a stronger Naruto at this point in time. I mean, we do get that OVA where Naruto has the Chunin exams fight against Konohamaru, where he does like 1,000 Shadow Clones. Konohamaru counters with his own 1,000 Shadow Clones, which he shouldn't be able to do, but he does, along with Rasengans, but whatever.
Wow.
I mean, at that point, I feel like Kakashi could probably do, not 1,000, but maybe he could do 1,000. Freaking Konohamaru's doing it. But we know that Kakashi has Shadow Clones. At the end of the Land of Waves, he does like 100 clones, not Shadow Clones. He says they're Shadow Clones, but he's lying. He does 100 clones, so he could at least counter Naruto with that, probably. My thing is that Kakashi, he doesn't have as much endurance or chakra as Naruto. He says so himself. Naruto's 4 times more. Oh, if he uses 9 Tails, it's 100 times more. But Kakashi knows that already. So going into the fight, he knows he has the uphill battle in that regard. He's not going to fight that battle. He's going to choose and pick his battles to fight. He's smarter than Naruto. He's more tactical, more advanced than Naruto. So he's going to use that to his advantage to counteract Naruto's stamina. Because yes, if he only fights Naruto's 1,000 Shadow Clones, he's just going to run out of chakra or stamina first before Naruto does. That's not to say he's not going to tire Naruto out, but he's going to run out first before Naruto. So he's not going to do that. He's just going to fight some other way to get the advantage back on Naruto if he had to do that. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's true. But in general, I think they would be relative in some way, for the most part. Just based on what we've discussed, Naruto's immense amount of chakra reserves and the amount of shackles he can make is sort of balanced by the fact that how much how much tactical skill and intelligence Kakashi has over Naruto in many respects.
How do you see that fight playing out?
That's interesting. I've never really thought about it.
Well, I still think that Kakashi might just be faster. It's understandable, but it's still a little bit weird that Naruto just gets speed Blitz of Tears faster based on his Rasen Shuriken training. But let's just say he does, ignoring the fact that he has the Nine Tails eyes at that point, so that might begin with speed and power boost anyways. But ignoring that during the Kaksu fight, it's just weird that he's that much faster. Like, he's contending with beginning of Shippuden Sasuke now, who's speed Blitz of Tears faster. That's a little bit weird. But either way, at the beginning of Shippuden, he says that Kakashi, well, I think it's Sakura that says it, but Naruto and Sakura are pretty relative at this point in time. They're saying that Kakashi is weaving hand signs faster than they can even, like, tell what's happening. I think that means they can perceive the fact that Kakashi's doing that. They just can't tell because Kakashi's doing it too quick which hand signs he's performing. But that says that Kakashi should probably be faster than their bodies can keep up, if not than their eyes, maybe? I don't know. But that's also when they're fresh. They go into the Sasuke fight when they're not fresh. All of them are a little bit weakened. So that might play a factor into it. So later on, when they're fresh, that might balance it out again. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a little hard to sort of quantify just how much stronger and faster both, the members of Team 7 and Kakashi get sort of during parts of Shippuden, but I do think it's fairly consistent to say that with the Rasen Shuriken training, Naruto does get, because just what he does against Kakuzu, he probably just, I don't know, it helped him in some way. And as for Kakashi, yeah, I mean, I do think he does improve. I'm not sure by how much. I mean, he spends a lot of the first half of Shippuden like in bed, so. But yeah, I think in general, Kakashi should have a speed advantage at this point in time against Naruto, just because he had such a speed advantage earlier on.
I mean, Kakuzu's final form should be faster than his normal form. I think they say it is too, but I could also see it just being slower, if not the same speed, funny enough, just based on how it functions. But I'm assuming it's faster, off the top of my head, because I'm pretty sure they say it. Naruto, I'm not going to say he's keeping up or relative with that, but we do know that Kakashi was pretty relative, especially in the anime, with normal Kakuzu. In fact, he was a little bit getting overwhelmed, I'd argue, especially with the hearts, let alone with Yidon. Part of that's because he had teammates there that needed to protect because they were just weaker. So Kakuzu was using that to his advantage, just like Zabuza used the bridge builder and Sakura to his advantage against Kakashi on the bridge. But outside of that, they're at the very least, they're pretty relative, Kakuzu and Kakashi, in terms of their like taijutsu. Naruto comes in against a stronger form. I mean, what do you think? Do you think they're relative? Because, again, Naruto, he is just getting, like, pretty much bodied by Kakuzu with his clones and all that. And, like, Naruto can only go from behind to get Kakuzu off guard both times with the Rasen Shuriken. That's the only time he's able to land it. So, do you think that is any kind of way to scale Naruto to Kakashi's speed, or slower or faster?
Couldn't you also, like, say that, like, because wasn't Kakuzu tired? Because he was like obviously like fatigued by the time Naruto like came around.
Yeah, but it's weird because that's his final form, so it should also be, even if he's fatigued, it might just counteract to where he's also stronger than he is despite being fatigued, the normal.
I always found it weird how Naruto was able to hit Kakuzu twice. Like, I just thought that was always like kind of strange. Like it just tricks him with like a basic shadow clone feint like twice.
That's
Like
crazy.
that's just Kishimoto being like, sick and whatever else I assume.
Yeah, slipped in the spa, hit his back, was in the hospital while he's writing this arc instead of going on hiatus, but I guess that's the business.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's because Kakuzu's supposed to be he's supposed to be the guy who's been around for ages, fought the first Hokage. He should be a brilliant tactician, but
literally the most experience of freaking anyone in the series.
He's like 90 years old.
Yeah, but a basic clone jutsu is what tricks him twice in a row.
So I think Kakashi's definitely smarter than Kakuzu, and I do think he would get.
Yeah.
He would definitely beat him. And he was going to beat him with the MS, but without the MS, I still think it would be.
I think without the MS, he would lose. If I'm being very honest, he would just lose.
It seems implied, yeah. I mean, part of that could come down to the fact that Kakashi maybe just doesn't have a kill move like the Rasen Shuriken. It's like if you just gave him a move that we knew would one-shot Kakuzu, similar to the Rasen Shuriken, then I think he would do better than Naruto does.
Yeah.
Outside of the fact that Naruto uses unpredictability, unorthodox fighting style to just, I guess, trick Kakuzu.
But we also got the narrative that these Akatsuki guys are above Jonin level, like they kill Asuma and whatever else. So
that was like the point of beating Kakuzu, even the way he did, is that Naruto thinks he's finally caught up to Sasuke.
Yeah, so them being stronger than than Kakashi by a bit without his MS makes sense to me. Even if Kakashi's the strongest of the Jonin.
Yeah. I forget, how many hearts was the final form of Kakuzu? Was it 3?
I think it was either 3 or 2.
I think it's 3.
I think it's 3. It's 3, yeah. He lost 2 hearts?
Yeah. So, unless Chidori's stream is breaking 3 hearts, the most powerful Chidori stream Kakachi's ever done. Actually, no, he doesn't have that jutsu. He only has, right? I guess lightning cable, bisect Kakuzu, that could probably work. If he hits all 3 hearts. Like, outside of that, does he have a move that would just one-hit KO all 3 hearts, like the Rasen Shuriken?
Well, later Kakashi would, but
yeah, well, does this Kakashi even have that as a rock? Outside of Kamui, obviously. If you would have counted, the Water Dragon Jutsu might do it. But think he's using against Zabuza. He's a freaking water hurricane cyclone.
That thing's got to be important because, the amount of hand signs you use for it, man, it's got to be really strong.
It's crazy. Yeah. Anything else, though? Mudwall's not going to do it. Hiding like a mole jutsu's not going to do it. I mean, Chidori works for 1 heart, as we see, but is it just going to be like swipe all 3 hearts? Is that a possibility?
Well, he does know 1,000 jutsu, so who knows what he's got.
He knows 1,000 jutsu, and he's only used like 15.
Yeah, probably something. Oh, the funniest way he could do it is he copied, or if not, he just already had it, Zabuza's water prison jutsu. He just drowns Kakuzu with his 3 hearts. It doesn't matter. He could have 100 hearts. It doesn't matter. Just drown to death.
Just drowns him.
That would be the funniest way to kill Kakuzu.
Yeah.
I do think his hearts would be able to react and just break Kakuzu out somehow, but I don't know. Like, the water heart could probably absorb it. I don't know. The lightning heart would just shoot lightning and zap Kakashi's hand. I don't know.
Something. Yeah.
Kakuzu and Hidan are considered like the weakest ones, right, of the Akatsuki?
Depends who you ask. Some people say Sasori's weaker. If you're Noodles, you think that Kakuzu's the strongest. Obviously, Zetsu doesn't count. He's a battle type. Konan depends where you scale her, I guess. Yeah,
I think Hidan is the weakest. main Akatsuki member.
I think so too.
Oh,
Hidan.
do you think Hidan beats the Animal Path of Pain? Without the
Animal
summonings.
Path? That's interesting.
Yeah, without the summonings. I think Hidan does without the summonings.
What? Well, without the summonings, the Animal Path doesn't do anything. So yeah, he would get
probably
pretty destroyed.
Do you think there's any Paths of Pain that Hidan just does beat on his own?
The one that Konohamaru would beat, probably.
True, yeah. Okay, I can see that, yeah.
That was that the human path? No, that was did Konohamaru beat the Naraka path or the human path?
I think it's Naraka.
I think
the absorption one.
Yeah, okay, so it was
the Naraka, yeah.
It was the human path.
Or human
path, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, human's the one that absorbs.
I thought
souls.
human was the one that the one that absorbs souls, but that's the that is the one that kills Shizune. Okay, never mind. I was thinking those were two different paths of pain, but no, that's the same. Wait, is it? Wait, no, now you got me confused. I think I was right originally. I don't know.
Human path's the one that absorbs souls. Naraka path's the one that has the King of Hell or whatever.
Yeah, the tongue. Yeah. And it can also absorb the jutsus? Or is that a different one? It revives the pains?
No. The jutsu absorber is the is it the Preda path? Is that what that's called?
It's all of them. You know what? It's the paths of pain. That's all you need to know. Who cares? Kamui knows. He'll be very mad if he listens back to the stream. Here's me saying this. The last of this.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, it's the Preda path.
Okay.
That absorbs.
Sure. But either way, see, I mean, they're wearing the Akatsuki clothes. If you want to count them as Akatsuki, there you go.
Yeah, but they're all one person.
I mean, by that regards, do we think that Hidan beats Yahiko?
Yahiko, huh?
Yeah.
He's like one of the original Akatsuki.
Yeah.
He probably does, because he's like...
I agree. I do think he would just body the entirety of the original Akatsuki, just like Obito did. Not all at once, but he could probably just do it. Well, maybe he could body them all at once. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't think Yahiko has any. I don't think Yahiko has any.
I don't even think Yahiko does anything. Though.
Yeah. A really good one, though. This actually is a really good one. Especially because of the sword things that they have. Hidan versus Juzo Biwa.
Who's Juzo Biwa?
He was Itachi's partner before Kisame. He died versus the third Mizukage, Yagura.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's anime only, I think.
He's the anime only guy, yeah.
He's in the games, too.
I like his design.
Yeah, he's cool. I think he actually is in manga. I'll look it up real quick. Well, let me just check. Juzo Biwa manga. Yep, there he is.
He's in the manga. I don't remember him being in the manga.
He's right there. So there you go.
I don't remember where that happens.
Pretty cool. But we would probably just use the anime for his scaling, since I don't think he really does much in the manga.
I don't know if he's in the. Is he in the manga?
Yeah, here I'll post I'm posting this in the general chat. There's another one, and he's also he just is here, so it's undeniable. He's in the manga.
Well, I do think he's in novels, so.
Well, no, I just posted undeniable proof. He is in the manga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he does have, as you see above that, he does have some panels where he talks about whatever. Don't remember where.
I don't remember this.
Somewhere.
It might be somewhere. It might be like in a one-shot or something. I don't remember this. That's interesting. Is he in the Seven Ninja Swordsman?
He is.
Is that one of him?
Yeah, so you just probably scale to like average, maybe low tier Seven Ninja Swordsman. So do we think Hidan beats that? Our Seven Ninja Swordsman versus Akatsuki is just two different organizations. It's kind of cool to think about it.
Yeah, but like,
well, they all died, so probably not that strong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they died to might die using the 8 gates, and only some of them. Again, Juzo Biwa is losing to Yagura, who was transformed at the time. The Three Tails. It was like V2 cloak as well. I think it was. He might have fired a Biju Bob to kill him. I don't remember what he fired, but he fired something. I remember him was like, he's like up against a tree and he's like, Itachi, just go. I'm dead anyways. My narrative backstory tells me this is it, or whatever he said. It was very sad. But yeah, no, him. I mean, he might scale to Zabuza, but at that point, Hidan versus Zabuza. I mean, well, that actually is a pretty contested match because of the mist jutsu, that's hiding in the mist. But Juzo Biwa,
I think it's probably Hidan, because like Hidan, like because Zabuza is like he's almost equal to like a weaker Kakashi before the time skip, right? Like the very first arc.
Yeah. I mean, Hidan's basically relative to Asuma, who's basically relative to Kakashi, who's like high-ranking Leaf Jonin, and the Leaf Jonin are higher ranked than other Jonin from other villages. I think that Juzo Biwa would lose to Hidan, because even if they're relative, I think that Hidan has the better hacks. He just needs his blood, and then he basically just wins. Ignoring also just the fact he's immortal. Yeah, I think Hidan would beat Juzo Biwa. That's just my guess.
I've always found Hidan's immortality, like, I mean, not useless, but like, if he's, I mean, if he gets, like, if he loses too much blood, like, I guess, like, how does it work? Like, will his organs still work? Like, I don't understand.
I mean, it would be OP in real life. If he does MMA, he becomes #1 instantly. He just solo fodderizes Mike Tyson. The problem is, this is in Naruto, where you can flick your fingernail and it decapitates a person. Like, you can take off their arm easier than you can, like, rip a piece of paper, it feels like. So it's like, at that point. I mean, look at how Kabuto bisects his mom on accident. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're immortal at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. Like, where does his version of immortality come from? Like, we don't really know. I guess that's why people are always making those Joshin theories.
Naruto just has like a lot of unexplained stuff by the end of this theory that like we'll never get the answer to.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the explanations is just forbidden jutsu. That's Datara's hands. It's Hidan's immortality. It's a lot of jutsus that are just weird. They're just forbidden jutsus. Like, that's the explanation, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously humans use chakra in a different way than Otsutsuki's did. They, created their own techniques that are quote-unquote inferior, but still, so I think that explains things pretty well. But Hidan's thing is, like, really interesting because it, like, cheats death, and it's like, man, if everyone knew how to do that, that would be...
Yeah, that is not inferior. Like, Reaper Death Seal,
right,
you're not telling me that's not Shinjutsu worthy.
Yeah.
Like, compared to Momoshiki's freaking dogs or whatever, his earth dogs, his fire phoenix, really going to take that over the Reaper?
Well, I do think that, like, Shinjutsu and ninjutsu, there's no, like, extremely sharp line defining them. I think they kind of mix in a lot of cases. Like, a lot of things that are classified as ninjutsu are, like, just obviously Shinjutsu, like space-time ninjutsu and things like that that don't require hand signs.
Yeah. Even the Rasengan, but I don't think that counts, since that is just, like, raw chakra.
So I don't think anybody has sat down and made a diagram of exactly what is ninjutsu and what is shinjutsu. I think it's sort of a vague concept.
Yeah, we did talk about that really early on the podcast. We had like a ton of polls about it too. That's back when Trippy was on. We debated it quite a bit. It was some crazy times. People want to go back and watch that. But yeah, just in general, I think it's just crazy.
Our TSOs and Six Path stuff, is that Shinjutsu?
Well,
probably.
Ameno Minaka if you saw, it was retconned, and I do mean that literally. Like, I am serious this time. It was retconned into being Shinjutsu. If you remember, they had a data book 4. It was a Kaguya's teleport jutsu. It was referenced as ninjutsu. Like, they listed it directly as ninjutsu, like in the top left corner, classifying what it is. And then recently, they came out with like here's a list of Shinjutsu, guys! And then Kaguya is just on the page, along with all the other Shinjutsu.
Yeah, that's because like Shinjutsu wasn't thought of at the time. It's just something they just made up. Like,
yeah, but it's funny that they just
ago.
the fact that they did directly say it was ninjutsu, that means they just did actually. That of all retcons in Naruto, that's probably the most direct and obvious one.
Wow, there's a lot of obvious retcons, but I will say that I actually like the Shinjutsu sort of. I mean, I guess you'd call it a retcon, but it adds to things. It just defines something that wasn't very defined before, essentially.
Yeah. Creation of all things uses yin-yang chakra. It depends if we want to count that as Shinjutsu or not, because I don't know if Shinjutsu even uses chakra elemental styles, or if it's just some other divine godly thing that just uses chakra itself rather than nature elemental whatever. I don't know.
I just think that, like, it's Kekimora, right? Kekimora. No, Kekitoda. Is it Kekitoda?
Kekitoda is 3, Kekimora is 5. And we don't have one for 4.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Kekimora is like Kaguya stuff. Okay, so
yeah.
Kekimora
Jutsu chords.
6 paths, Jutsu, 6 paths, stuff like that, and Shinjutsu are all like basically similar or the same type of thing. They're Otsutsuki related. I mean, 6 paths is always related to Hagoromo.
Exactly, it comes from Hagoromo's chakra, which comes from Kaguya, which comes from the Tintails / Divine Tree, so...
But they never used 6 paths after, like, the term after the war, so I think it's specifically related to, for some reason, Hagoromo and Kaguya's chakra.
Well, I would be curious. Do you guys have theories for why devouring the chakra fruit turns you into an Otsutsuki? More specifically, what does the tree or the fruit do? What is the process that turns the chakra that it gathers from all across the world into, like, it converts it seemingly into something else, that when you devour that chakra, that's what you gain?
Well, I think it essentially genetically updates you with all the information from the planet. You essentially
I think it has to be beyond that.
Kind of
because I don't think that's the case, because then they would just have thousands of jutsu like the copycat Kakashi. Like, I don't think if Momoshiki went around and just absorbed the chakra from every individual, a whole million of them or whatever, trillion of them, however many people are on Naruto's planet, if he just did that individually to each of them on Earth, I think that would be significantly, substantially different and or possibly weaker than the chakra fruit, which I think is just doing some other process to convert it into something else.
Yeah, I think it's just your genetics are getting updated with all the information from the chakra of the planet, as well as it's kind of vague because they say like the genetic information of all life on the planet, long dead as well as currently living, which I'm a little confused about. But like, do they steal chakra from like the Pure Lands? I don't know.
I mean, over time, the chakra itself becomes more and more diluted. So maybe that is the process that'd be the most safe answer anyways. So basically, as my hypothetical went, if Momoshiki goes around absorbing individual people's chakra, let's just say he absorbs someone with a fire elemental style. Okay, he gets that. And then he absorbs someone with a lightning elemental style. Okay, he gets lightning elemental. But he doesn't get a Kekkei Genkai that combines fire and lightning. The only way he can, like, unbake the cake, quote unquote, would be through the chakra fruit. It's not just combining them, it's fusing them back together into one, the homogeneous chakra fruit. It's the combination of all the different chakras around the world that split off from that original thing. It also makes sense based on, the progenitor of chakra, she of the beginning, Kaguya, and then it all, again, just split off from there, like branches.
So, like, logically, the stronger an Otsutsuki is, the more chakra fruits they would have had and the more abilities they would have. But obviously, like, for example, Ishiki doesn't have that many abilities. So, like, and he's stronger than Kaguya, for example. But then you got people like Shibai who clearly have loads of abilities because they've absorbed loads of chakra fruit. So it's kind of inconsistent. I'm not sure which one they're going for.
Yeah, because like doesn't like Momoshiki, at least from what we see, he looks like he eats more chakra fruits than Kaguya, but Kaguya has more abilities than like Momoshiki.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, Momoshiki kind of makes maybe a little more sense because he doesn't train at all. He's kind of lazy, so he wouldn't have honed any abilities or anything like that. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, nature elementals are one thing, and then Kekkei Genkai is also just fine as branching off of nature elementals. Things that just aren't that are ninjutsu, that's where it gets into muddy territory of how do you exist? What is that? Like, how do you just...
Sorry, what is what?
Like ninjutsu that isn't based in nature chakra or nature elemental style or whatever. Maybe you could say it's using yin chakra or yang chakra, whatever. But like, the clone technique, fine, whatever. Shadow clone even, fine, whatever. But again, go back like the Reaper Death Seal. Unless you want to say it's yin or yang style or whatever. Or like flying Raijin. Again, unless you're saying it's yin or yang style. It's like, how do these exist? What is that? Because it's not nature elemental. So how do they even do it? What do they have that gives them it?
Well, the Otsutsuki have a natural ability to cross dimensions.
Yeah.
So the fact that the humans have inherited, a portion of their chakra sort of passed down, makes sense that they would be able to eventually replicate some version of space-time jutsu as well.
Oh, you know what? That's another dumb theory that I kind of like. Okay. What if the chakra fruit? Okay. When a ninja has chakra, they need their hand signs to mold the chakra to perform ninjutsu. AKA, ninjas have raw chakra or unmolded chakra. So what if the chakra fruit, or the divine tree, it absorbs all that unmolded chakra and it molds it into the chakra fruit? There you go. The divine tree is one big hand sign.
Well, see, the issue is that they often, it's kind of confusing because throughout the series they call chakra, sometimes what they mean is like, like molded chakra, but sometimes they just mean the individual mental and physical energies as individual chakras, or sometimes they call one chakra. So they're all sort of under the umbrella of chakra. So we're not really sure what type of chakra the chakra fruit is. It could just be a collection of mental and physical energies together, or maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that as well. Could be like spiritual or I mean, the Ten Tails itself is nature energy, so maybe it's like combining nature energy with it as well. It could be also multiple of these answers all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, if someone in the series eventually does eat a chakra fruit, maybe we'll get some answers.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
I do like my answer though, is that it's absorbing each individual, but it's then fusing it back together. So it's basically making one big Kekkei Mora worth of chakra rather than individual chakra nature elementals out. Yeah. Because again, like Sasuke, he remade a bootleg version of Ice Style by combining the two different elements. But me and Kamui have gone over this before. It's basically when you have a Kekkei Genkai, you can mold the chakra to come out as that instead of like combining the two different types of natures to reproduce that, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't as a short explanation, but it's a basic idea.
Yeah.
It's like Haku can make ice. Sasuke can make water and wind to form ice. That's different.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so like, if Momoshiki absorbed someone's chakra that had water style and then someone else's chakra that had wind style, Momoshiki could then theoretically have the water plus wind Kekkei Genkai ice style. And then if the chakra fruit's doing that, but with everyone on Earth, that's like the craziest Kekkei Mora of all time.
Yeah. I mean, we're not sure what other planets are like in this universe, so we don't know what life is like. They could. It's
Yeah.
possible there is no intelligent life elsewhere, and they're just sort of the Otsuki are just absorbing planets full of essentially alien, microscopic life forms or something. We just don't know, but we do know that Earth's chakra fruit would be especially powerful, which of course makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like
but I
since the
don't think there are
Otsutskis are
other.
meant to be monsters, like these planet crackers, it feels like the freaking parasites. It feels like it would be more than microscopic life. It feels like it would be similar to what it was like on Earth before humans got chakra. Because otherwise, it's like, who cares that they're killing Mars, the barren wasteland? Oh no, they took the bacteria away. It's like, it feels like
Well,
it has to be actual life.
I think the planets that have more life and more energy would be more potent, and that's why
Yeah.
a planet like Mars would not be very interesting because there's
Yeah.
tiny microbes. Whereas, maybe there's other planets out there with substantial life that is useful, but I don't think they would be able to use chakra.
Well, that's
Because
why
Earth
Earth was so interesting to them in the first place. The whole space curvature of 16 thing, that's implied to be a large number based on what we can tell. Obviously, the Kaguya stuff as well, but that's part of the reason that why they wanted Earth's chakra fruit so badly compared to other planets. Probably the craziest planet they've ever seen because of all the ninjas and all the shinobi history that got recorded and all the craziness that's been passed down. Makes the craziest chakra fruit. So I do think that other planets, I mean, I doubt they have a space curvature of 0.01 or something. They probably have a space curvature, I don't know, 2, 3, 4. Something that's more normal parameters, but still worth going after. So I think it would have to have some kind of complex life. Something just like normal humans without the chakra. Or without the ability to mold it. I don't know, you get the idea.
Like Planet Namek or something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Earth, it might not actually be because of ninjas. I do think that's what they were implying, is that all of shinobi history is why it's like that. But it could just be the enormous amount of nature energy that, for whatever reason, happens to be on Earth and no other planet.
I think it's sort of a mix of both. I think Earth is implied to have a lot of potent nature energy, but also there's loads of history of shinobi and stuff like that helping that process.
Definitely possible. Med, do you agree, or do you have any thoughts on that? If you're there. I'm guessing he's not there. Well. I guess let's check out the comment section. I'll share my screen so you can follow along. Well. Interesting comment section. Yo, Narishikage! Yo. Well, this has been 2.5 hours, and I do have to go to the bathroom. So...
Me too.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad we're in the same boat together, and we'll end the podcast in the same boat together. So, Ikimoto failed. And any other final words?
Goodbye, everyone, and good night.
That too.